And now to the start list for the men's all-around final. And there they are. The first 6 gymnasts will be working round as one group, the top group of qualifiers. And Arta Dalaloyan is the reigning world champion. So the gymnasts will move round in 4 distinct groups. The second strongest group of gymnasts will start on the pommel horse. And then we'll have the third strongest starting on the still rings, those who've qualified 14th and onwards. And then those who've qualified 22nd down to the lower positions, the 29th place gymnast who's coming as a reserve, Robert Tvorokal, good opportunity for him. They will start on the vault. And we have, don't we, Lisa, right down all the way to the likes of Sam Mikulak, who's in that 4th group, people who could fly up the rankings.
Yes, he qualified on a tie-break rule after really a disastrous qualification competition for him, but even with 3 major errors, he's managed to make it through, and he is an outstanding all-around gymnast. Didn't we see him come back in the team competition? Some beautiful performances from him, and never one to rule out. Even though he starts in the lower group, there's no carryover score. Today is another day, and all of our gymnasts will be hoping to impress the judges.
Those of you who are watching the sport for the very first time, welcome indeed, and we're going to do our level best to tell you a little bit more about how it operates, how it's scored, and what the judges are looking for in terms of the difficulty and execution components of this sport. As you no doubt can see looking out over the field of play, those are the 6 discrete apparatus forms in men's artistic gymnastics. It's been rather noisy here. Feel free to get one of those to avoid listening to our commentary should you wish. 5 seconds and we're going to get underway. The gymnasts are going to be brought out by groups. Let's get it started. It's the men's all-around final here at the World Championships. It's game on.
Die 49. FIG Top-Weltmeisterschaft Stuttgart 2019. Mehrkampffinale der Männer. Herzlich willkommen in Stuttgart! Und wir begrüßen zunächst am Boden, on floor, Ukraine,
Petro Pachniuk, the 6th strongest in qualification. Gymnast who took the parallel bar silver in the European Championships and was 6th in the all-around. Nikita Nagorny, team gold medalist and all-around bronze medalist from the last competition. Top qualifier though, so let's see. Arta Dalaloyan, the reigning world champion. He comes in as the 2nd strongest in qualification, but with absolute potential to become King Arta once more. What of this man, Xiaoru Teng, gymnast who won China's first men's all-around title for 10 years in 2017. He's the 3rd strongest in qualification. It's a much changed Japanese team, but Kazuma Kaya has made the most of the opportunity, the 4th strongest in qualification and twice a team bronze medalist. Well, Sun Wei had a very difficult time of things in the team competition, but he's a gymnast of incredible heart and character. He will be up for this and ready for another crack at the whip. You may possibly be able to tell that this man is from Germany. He's a hugely loved gymnast here. The athlete from Lower Saxony was the 13th highest performer in qualification. He's twice been a German all-around champion. Li Chi-kai, the master of the pommel horse, which is a good thing because that's where he's starting, the 7th strongest in qualification, and he's been a World Championship bronze medalist on the pommel horse. He's also the Asian all-around champion. Oleg Vanyaev, a man who is the reigning Olympic champion on the parallel bars and the all-around silver medalist from Rio 2016. Pablo Brega took the all-around silver medal at the Swiss National Championships last month, and he's the 9th strongest in qualification. Yul Moldau 2 years ago became the US national all-around champion for the first time. He's also a world medalist on the floor exercise. There is the reigning Swiss all-around champion, Oliver Hegge. He's also been renowned as a high bar expert for many years. He's the 12th strongest in qualifying.
On rings, representing Great Britain, James Hall.
So the gymnast starting on rings, and James Hall, a very consistent performer who turned 24 at the start of this competition. From Chinese Taipei, Tang Chia-hung. He's the reigning Asian Games champion on the horizontal bar, but he's also the 14th best performer in all-around qualification. Joe Fraser is a parallel bars master who's qualified for the final. The 20-year-old from Edgbaston is the 16th strongest in the all-around qualification process. Loris Frasca has come in as a reserve gymnast, the 28th strongest in qualification. Very valued member of the French team. Carlos Yulo is one of the finest floor artists in the world. He's got fabulous tumbling, but he's also the 18th strongest after the qualification process. Nestor Abad is the reigning Spanish all-around champion. The 26-year-old from Alcoy near Alicante was the 19th best in qualification. To the fourth group of gymnasts who start on the vault. Sam Mikulak, the 6-time US national champion with real potential to move up in the rankings. Robert Tvorogel, the 25-year-old gymnast. He competed in the all-around at the European Championships and won European Games horizontal bar gold in June. Caio Souza has just won all-around gold at the Pan American Games for Brazil. The 26-year-old was the 22nd best performer in qualification. Lee Jung-kyo is a gymnast who hasn't competed a huge amount internationally, but he was 4th in the all-around at the 2017 Asian Championships in Bangkok. Ludovico Edali from Italy, the 25-year-old gymnast, was a Youth Olympic Games medalist back in Singapore in 2010. Milad Karimi, the 20-year-old from Almaty in Kazakhstan, the 26th strongest in the qualification, and he's won medals at the Asian Championships on the floor and vault very recently. Well, that, Lisa, is a field and a half.
It certainly is the top 24 male all-around gymnasts in the world. Going head-to-head, they will move around all 6 apparatus in Olympic order, from floor to pommel horse, pommel to rings, rings to vault, vault to parallel bars to horizontal bar. They have to have versatility of skill to master those apparatus.
This is the final day for the all-around athletes. We move to apparatus specialism at the weekend, and we'll talk more about that in due course. We won't talk about it during this competition because we won't have a moment to breathe because the action is so fast and furious. This is the lead group of gymnasts, the top 6 qualifiers. They will start on the floor exercise in what is known as the Olympic order.
Yes, and we can't underestimate that although they are the top group, there are no carryover scores, so really any one of these 24 gymnasts could take the all-around title. We saw so many errors in qualification, so many slip-ups, and many of the gymnasts will want to correct those errors.
And most of them happen right there on the pommel horse, which did not behave itself at all during qualification, and yet during the team final, things seemed to be absolutely smooth on the pommel horse. In fact, it was the parallel bars that went a little bit tricky, and the horizontal bar too. We just don't know, do we, across 6 apparatuses, how it's going to go.
No, I think the only thing we can do is to expect the unexpected at these World Championships.
Those of you who are brand new to the sport, it's evaluated by different sets of judges, and they're looking for different things.
They certainly are. The scores are made up of an execution score out of 10, so marks being taken off for any faults, any falls, any bent legs, any additional steps. And then the difficulty value is added, so they accumulate difficulty as they progress through the exercise. And obviously, the more risk, the greater the reward, but they have to execute it very well indeed.
Those of you who are watching your first ever gymnastics competition, that's why it may sound from time to time as though we are, as broadcasters, being a touch on the picky side about certain things here and there. We'll talk about a misplaced step on landing. We'll talk about toes not being pointed. That's because that's exactly the way the judges, albeit much more successfully than us, will be looking at the process.
Yes, they have a very critical eye, which is learned through many years of training. They can't judge at this level without those assessments and their own examinations. So they look to see where the imperfections are, whereas as spectators, we just enjoy the prowess and the athletic ability of these marvellous competitors.
They are ready to enjoy it as well, as I hope for you, as I'm sure you are watching at home. You may be supporting a particular gymnast, a particular nation, but let us raise a metaphorical glass and a toast to all of these athletes who have made it through to this stage, to get to this group of 24 at a World Championship final. That is huge.
It certainly is, and of course we have the 2 per nation rule. Only 2 per nation can qualify, so unfortunately for some nations, if they say have 3 gymnasts in the top 10, only the top 2 we will see here today. But it does allow other nations to represent themselves on this world scene.
We've also had a couple of withdrawals as well, and that can happen in an all-around competition, particularly if those gymnasts concerned have been carrying injuries. They might feel it's best to preserve themselves for future competitions. There's something quite big happening next year that a lot of them are keen not to get injured for as well. And some gymnasts got themselves into an Olympic qualification position and then thought, actually, I don't want to push my body here, I'm going to just step away from the all-around. So we've had a couple of reserves come through as well.
Yes, the top 12 teams in qualification have made it through to the Tokyo Olympic Games, and there are 10 places for individuals as well that have already been decided. More up for grabs in the apparatus finals. But let's get on with the competition.
Well, what a place to start. Sun Wei from the People's Republic of China, who was such a great performer for the vast majority of the team competition, then had an unfortunate moment on the horizontal bar, was left rather disconsolate.
Well, he starts very well. A nice double pike front somersault to begin his exercise. And they're beautiful double straight. Such flight. Nice form in the air. That's what the judges will be looking for. And again, some strong tumbling here from Sun Wei. Two and a half half-turn combination. There's Russian bendy swings on the floor. Beautiful control in the Japanese handstand. Making his way into the corner. Composing himself. And the triple twist to finish, spots the landing. Well, no signs of nerves after the difficulties in the team final. Well done, Sun Wei.
What a lovely start that was from the 24-year-old who has been through the emotional ringer over the last couple of days, and what a steady beginning.
It was. We really felt for him in the team final on that last apparatus. So everybody behind him here, that double straight, beautiful performance of that tumble run. Seems focused, he seems confident. He should be very happy with that start. Feet locked together in the back flip. Double twisting, double tuck somersault. And the linking skills originating from the pommel horse. Again, performed with polish.
Lovely beginning for Sun Wei, the 5th strongest in qualification. He was the silver medalist in the all-around World Cup event held here in Stuttgart earlier on in the year. Loves competing in this city. And he will finish his campaign on the horizontal bar once again, so that will perhaps be on his mind, certainly be on our minds as fans, and there's nothing you want to see more than the gymnast deliver what they want to deliver. To wit, Oliver Heggie of Switzerland has just gained 2 marks on the pommel horse, 14.233. We'll come back to him in a mo. It's a 14.033 for Sun Wei, and that's only around a 10th down from his qualification score.
Yes, very consistent.
You timed that to perfection, Lisa. You said consistent, and Kazumakaya appeared on our screens. That's what embodies this gentleman, and he's the 4th best after qualification. It's going to be a big challenge here to get in and amongst the medals. Can this 22-year-old from Chiba Prefecture do it?
Well, he was a floor finalist in Doha last year. Starts with a double tuck front with a half turn. Played 6 all around last year. 4th in qualification, so really does have a good opportunity here. There, the double pike front. Big side of the shoulders. Working right the way into the diagonal corner. Managing to stay within the 12 by 12 metre perimeter. Beautifully controlled double twist. It's working well. Assured performance so far, just the final pass. And nails the triple twist, an excellent start for Kazuma Kaya.
Reason to believe early on for the Japanese faithful. Kazuma Kaya had a 13.933 in qualification. I believe he had a 0.1 penalty for a step out of bounds. Looked very secure there.
Yes, he did look secure indeed. A 5.8 difficulty value in qualification. Let's take a look at him in action again. A lofty double pike in the forward direction to begin the exercise.
We shall move across to some gymnastics on the pommel horse. This is where that leading group will go in a short while. And it's our first chance to see what was the nemesis of so many competitors earlier on in the competition. Pablo Brega is the first gymnast we will see on the pommel horse, the 9th strongest in qualification.
Starting with that work on one handle. Keeping a nice line in his swing, if you're new to gymnastics. Oh, that's good work. Up in the handstand, trying to keep the rhythm on this apparatus is very tricky, and he's doing a good job so far. Travelling forwards and backwards to Shivado. Up into the handstand and the pirouette, and a very good start for Oliver Heggie, part of the Swiss team who placed 7th in the team final. Apologies, that was Pablo Braga. Getting ahead of myself with the Swiss flag.
We're just so used to seeing Oliver Heggie do well on the pommel horse that you just see a Swiss routine and think it must be Oliver Heggie, but Pablo Brega.
It was going very well.
It was a very good display, wasn't it, to
It
start?
certainly was. It was. Nice form in the handstand there in the pirouette. He'll be pleased to get that underway. It's a little bit like the beam for the men, the pommel horse.
Kazuma Kaya, on the subject of beaming, 14.3 for him. That's going to be something to make him smile. He's gained quite a bit, 4/10 from qualification. Good start. It's always exciting when you see the early leading competitors gaining points. We look for data trends very early on to see who's getting a 10th here and there, who's losing one here and there. Xiaoruo Teng has won this before, a couple of years ago in Montreal, and he won a silver medal in Doha. Great gymnast, 3rd strongest in qualifying.
It's just a few of his accolades being listed there. Silver with the team just a few days ago. Oh, and that was very nice. 3.5 twist backwards, half twist forward combination, and very well controlled. And the double-double. Two and a half double. And all of these somersaults have to be different. They have to know where they are in the air. Each half turn adding to the difficulty value. Beautiful extension in the hips there, flares and the handstand. Clipping the heels together on the landing there. Just a tiny little hop before he composes himself into the last tumbling run. Very nice. Triple twister finish, and that's a super start for Zhao Ruoteng.
Certainly very happy with that beginning is the Chinese competitor, this veteran all-rounder, despite only being 23.
Yes. He's such a focused competitor, isn't he? He really does know how to perform under pressure. Always holds his head, means business.
Pablo Brega is awaiting the judge's verdict, and it's a 13.2 for him on the pommel horse. So that for Brega is pretty well comparable with the 13.266 he received in qualification. Now we have to have a look at this gentleman, Oleg Vernyayev. All-around silver medalist at the last Olympic Games, 8th strongest in qualification, the gymnast from Donetsk.
Yes, he came so close in Rio, didn't he? He was just a 10th away from Koei Uchimura. Super all-rounder. Oh, that's very nice. He's produced some fine gymnastics in the past. A little bit of a hesitation there. Back into his swing now. Looking for that line from the shoulders to the feet. Russian on one handle. And the triple Russian between the handles. Some strong work here. Oleg Vernyayev punches the air, very pleased with that start.
Well, he knows all too well how to achieve great things in an all-around competition. He's had dreadful injury troubles of late, but he's managed to work his way back to a good standard of competition fitness.
Yes, and interestingly, Ukraine chose not to place Oleg Vernyayev and Petro Pachniuk up so much in the team final, hoping to save them for this all-around competition.
Oh, what a score for Zhao Ruoteng. 14, or even 15, because I can't count. 15.025. That is a massive score from him.
Fabulous start for his competition. Putting the pressure on.
He's gained a few tenths there. Now, Artur Dalaloyan, 14.733 in qualifying.
A difficult start, straight front double pike half. Full twisting front, double pike. Lots of forward tumbling, dynamic, well performed. Shows he can perform in both directions. Such difficulty, and the style to match. Extension of the ankles. Toes beautifully together.
Our next competitor.
2.5, double twisting, straight front, and not a waver on the landing. Oh, and really minimising any execution faults. A superb performance from Dalaloyan, the reigning world champion.
We are seeing wonderful quality on the floor exercise from these gymnasts. Just to give you a very quick update, Sam Mikulak of the USA scored a 14.266 for his vault. We'll keep an eye on him as the competition goes on.
Yes, a very strong competitor, but this was super work, wasn't it? From the reigning all-around and the reigning floor champion.
On the subject of things that are strong, 14.866. Oleg Vernyayev on the pommel horse. He's up by almost 3/10 from qualification. Very good start.
Yes, and a 6.6 difficulty value. Incredibly good work.
Now, how could we not show this gentleman? Li Chikai, the bronze medalist from the last World Championships on the pommel horse. If you haven't seen him do this before, it's pretty spectacular.
Yes, you're in for a treat. Lovely line in the handstand. Look at those flares. Oh, beautiful into the Baznari. Such control. Every single hand placement. Look, outside of the handles, inside of the handles, alternate with the handles and the spindle. So impressive. And now with treble. Composed. Beautiful. Oh, well, the dismount. He nearly lost it on the dismount. A wry smile from the third highest qualifier on this apparatus.
Oh, he very nearly helicoptered his way out of the building at the end there, didn't he? But, I mean, goodness me, the rapidity of those flares is a joy.
It is. Look at that, the hands either side of the handles. This is where he builds the difficulty. Such flexibility, amazing control. There, his hand nearly came off. And you see him a bit of puff of the cheek, and he smiles. We'll see what the judges make of that. But stylish, impressive work on this apparatus.
Such stellar difficulty that he has. Well, a fascinating start, contenders everywhere. This is the first chance to see Ludovico Idali from Italy.
Just a little step on the landing, very central. Solid start from him. He'll be hoping to have a good individual competition. The Italians in 13th place in the team, just out of qualification for the Rio Olympics. So now it's all about individual prowess.
Yes, all eyes on Tokyo as Ludovico Idali scores a 13.866. The gymnasts who haven't achieved qualification for the Olympic Games yet, there are still paths open to them throughout the year, which we might talk about more tomorrow. We'll talk about that, though. A 15 for Lee Chi-kai on the pommel horse. He's up a little bit from qualification. He was 14.966 there.
Yes, and up to his difficulty there as well, to a 6.2 from a 5.8.
We've had a couple of 15-plus scores thus far. This is Joe Fraser of Great Britain, the reigning English champion on the still rings. Won it in Redbridge earlier this year.
Flat in the Maltese. And shoulders nice and low in that cross position. The straddle planche, trying to keep the cables as still as possible. Forward swing to handstand. Toes locked together and extended. Back swing to handstand. And the double twisting, double tuck to finish, just a pace. Solid start from Joe Fraser.
Yes, Fraser scored a 13.866 for this routine in qualification.
Yes, he's made the parallel bars final as well, so we look forward to maybe seeing him again there. But focusing here on the rings. Part of the British team, he placed 5th in the final. And they're wrapping into the 2 twists with the double somersault. Just the left foot moving backward to maintain the momentum, or contain the momentum, should I say.
And he's improved upon his qualification score by a single tenth for Joe Fraser, 13.966. He's in 10th position at the moment. Those numbers aren't going to mean a great deal for a while. This is Sam McCulach's vault from earlier.
Oh, and a very good vault from him. Big smile from Sam McCulach. He said earlier, had a few difficulties in qualification, but not the case here. Half turn on, wrapping into the twist. There we go. Just a jump forward with a central landing and a solid start from him. Keep your eyes out. We may see him creeping up the ranks.
He's not got his eyes open. 14.266 from McCulach. Really clearly just trying to get his head into the kind of place it needs to be to approach the rest of this competition. Either that or he's just having a quick nap, but not for us to put words into his mouth. But he's down by a few tenths from the scoring qualification. Nonetheless, definitely in and around the mix. We've still got a little more gymnastics to come. And one of the gymnasts who's getting ready to compete on the pommel horse is the German Andreas Tober, which is why the fans are really getting excited, but there's the man of the moment so far. Xiao Teng, the champion from 2017, has come up and produced the goods early on.
Yeah, he's putting his stake in the ground, showing he's ready for this all-around event. Interestingly, yes, we have Andreas Tober waiting to go pommel horse, and our leader from the all-around qualification competition, Nikita Nagorny, waiting on floor. And you don't know where to watch on these finals. There's all of the action going on at the same time. Very exciting for these spectators.
Yes, we've got to say a real job well done to German television, who are endeavouring to pick out all the best of the action as it goes on and make sure that we get those key routines. 15.2 for Dalaloyan. We've got ourselves a battle on already.
We have. He did a superb job there, didn't he? Upping the execution mark from qualification.
Gained himself around about half a mark from qualification, Dalaloyan. To gain half a mark when you're on 14.733 is good going. So, next to Nikita Nagorny, who had a 14.9 in qualifying. By the way, the first bit of this routine is really something.
Yes, hold on to your seats. Prepare to be impressed. Yes, you counted it right. The roar goes up. There were 3 rotations, the triple back somersault. And the double front in the pipe with half turn out. And again, an incredibly difficult combination. So far, he's managing very well indeed. And it was his tenacity that helped them take the team title. That extraordinary horizontal bar routine. It doesn't seem to have phased him. In fact, he's riding so far on that success and performing a very good floor so far. Japanese handstand, moves into the corner. And a half in, half out. Well, he's on fire.
We're quite close to the Black Forest here in Stuttgart, and there are trees there that are not as well planted as Nikita Nagorny was during that routine.
Superb control. Let's take another look at this. Never fails to impress, doesn't it? 3 rotations, lands in a very upright position, sky high in that somersault. And here, this was the final tumble. Half turn in the first somersault, half in the second, clips his heels together. The real challenge is on.
Let's have a look at Andreas Tober of the host nation, taking to the pommel horse, the 13th strongest in qualification. He scored 13.566.
Yes. Oh, well, needing a little bit of strength there to get up into the handstand. That won't go unnoticed by the judges. But wasn't he such a strong and consistent performer in qualification for Germany? Now, containing the nerves. He's now into his swing a little bit better than the beginning, settling down with the travel, forwards and backwards. Up into the handstand. Well, he did very well indeed there, Andreas Tober, to complete that successfully. A few issues at the beginning, he knows, but he stayed on the apparatus, which many of our gymnasts have not been able to do.
Off to a positive start.
Yes, look at the pressure there on the wrists.
Impeccable triple salto, named after
The body taking so much pressure.
probably better known as Natasha.
And there's a pirouette. Nice conclusion.
His father,
He knows that there are a few issues right at the start.
15.041 for Nikita Nagorny in second place. Do glance at the score to the top 4, would you? That is a great start to this competition.
Gosh, yes. 4 gymnasts scoring 15 or above in this first rotation. And we have another one to come.
Here is Petro Pachniuk, the 6th strongest qualifier.
Handspring double front. And handspring 2.5 twists. twisting front, double twisting front. It's going well. Controlling the double twist. Now into the linking elements. Russian swings. And the splits. Moves into the corner. There's the whistle. He has 10 seconds to finish his routine. Triple twist to finish. Very nicely done from Petr Pachniuk. Perhaps not quite the difficulty of some of the other gymnasts, but well executed, and he'll be pleased to get a solid routine under his belt.
Bronze medalist at the European Games on floor. He'll be looking towards the parallel bars later to really gain some numbers.
Yes, it's about all 6 apparatus here. This prestigious title up for grabs. It's no good just being good on one apparatus in this competition. You have to be clean, you have to be polished, you have to perfect all 6 if you want to challenge for the all-around title.
Certainly a gymnast who has been going places lately. Pachniuk, he's been confident, he's been in good form, he's earned his place in that top group. 12.566 for Toba, so he's lost a full mark from qualification. Those execution deductions, small as some of them were, they all added up.
Yeah, they did.
Nonetheless, he stayed on, and that is a positive beginning in itself. Easy for a home competitor to have some difficulties, but he right there, Petr Pachniuk, is a man who's looked so confident lately, and he's produced a score that is just a 10th down from his qualification mark. That will probably do quite nicely for Pachniuk early on.
Yeah, it's a 5.7 difficulty value. Some of the gymnasts we see with scores over 15 had scores into the 6 marks in terms of their difficulty, and I think that's where the difference lies.
Well then, we have 4 competitors who posted 15+ scores. Lee, Xiao, Nagorny, Dalaloyan. That is how things currently look. The podium at the moment is comprised of the same gymnast that it was a year ago. The order that needs a little bit of clarity as we go on. It's not quite the same as it was back 12 months ago, and who knows what it will be at the end of things. As we look down the order of the gymnasts, we've got a little bit of ground to make up. Yul Moldau of the USA down in 22nd position. He was the 11th best performer in the qualification process, but it is early days here in Stuttgart.
Yes, and for those of you perhaps new to gymnastics, it might be appropriate to mention that if a gymnast falls from an apparatus, they lose 1 whole mark in terms of their execution score, so that can be costly. And when we're talking about tenths, hundredths, even thousandths of a mark, it's so important that the routines are clean and solid and with no major errors or falls.
Which brings us to the pommel horse for the lead group of gymnasts. What sort of set of pommel horse routines will we get? And sometimes gymnasts losing their grip on the apparatus leads to more gymnasts losing their grip on the apparatus. Sometimes it can seem like a rather curious domino effect, can't
yes,
it?
It's almost like it's contagious, which we saw across some of the teams in the qualification competition. So, interestingly, there's been a lot of very confident work so far on the floor, and they'll be hoping to take that confidence into their second rotation now.
The challenge of the vault is you just get 1 of them. It's a matter of seconds, and yet it is 1/6 of the competition. This is the group of gymnasts who were in the 3rd highest group of qualifiers, those ranked 14th to 19th, along with the gymnast from France, Loris Frasco, who was the first reserve.
Yes, interesting. Carlos Adriel Yulo, they're leading, a very exciting gymnast from the Philippines.
Yes, we'll have the chance to enjoy his work in the floor final. Wonderful competitor, very high impact tumbler. This is the 4th group, and they will be taken to the parallel bars.
Seeing that apparatus for the first time. Poses the challenge itself, but at the moment we're looking at the pommel horse and our lead group here. Artur Dalaloyan just warming up. He's our current leader with 15.2.
Yes, and he scored a 13.666 in qualification on the pommel horse, so could be a very key moment to come for this gymnast.
Yes, he had a few issues in qualification, but every day is a new day.
And he's very good at that, isn't he? He's very good at the separation between one competition and the next.
He is. He's a very strong character, which you have to be. You have to have that competition temperament to be able to produce on the big occasion, and he's proven that he's done that time and time again.
Andreas Tober has twice been a national still rings champion in Germany. He's a man with temperament, isn't he? As many of you who watched the Olympic Games in 2016 will know.
And our gymnasts just adjusting the parallel bars. They're set for each competitor. You can see they're slightly turned out or in according to the shoulder width and the preference of the gymnast, applying that all-important chalk.
We saw the German team in the team qualification. Of you who watched that, they actually got rulers with the gymnast names on them, so they've got the exact length marked out, and they just bring those up there.
That's a nice aerial shot. The judges looking for skewing of the shoulders. They have to be really straight as they're travelling. Obviously, they have hand placements where they have to move backwards, but a lot of these elements have to be completed in terms of the rotations, and the shoulders and the hand placements, so important.
Sometimes when one watches a pommel horse routine, a gymnast comes off the apparatus. It's not always easy to tell why. Sometimes we have to trace it back, don't we, to sort of 3, 4, 5 moves ago, where maybe the thighs struck one of the handles. We couldn't see it too easily at first.
Yes, and as they go for these rotations, the spindles, the Russian bendings, they have to really apply pressure through the wrist whilst keeping the body in a straight line. And just a shoulder, tiny bit off balance, means that they can't keep their weight over their base of support as it's moving, and it's enough to just take them off on a circle. So very, very difficult. Possibly not so spectacular to watch, but one of the most difficult to master.
It's the compression, isn't it? It's all in such a tiny space. Everything looks a touch bigger on television. The apparatus, well, that's a good indication of just the size of it. But when one is actually staring, looking at the pommel horse from close range, it really is tiny.
It is. 1.5 high. Handles being adjusted then again. And this gymnast performed very well in qualification.
Kazumakaya, 7th place at the moment, coming into this rotation. The gymnast who was the 4th best in qualifying, and he's made the pommel horse final. Now he needs to make this one count.
Standing well with the handstand. And again, difficult, such a small base of support as they lift into those handstand positions on one handle. So himself a nice pace of swing. Good work so far from Kaya. There's the flares with travel forwards and back. Bringing the feet together for the dismount. Solid performance from Kazumakaya. He's very happy with that. Keeps himself in the race.
Very much in the race is Kazumakaya.
Let's look at the swing. Look at every hand placement. One in under grasp, then in over grasp, on one handle, onto the leather, back up again. Precise work. Here was the dismount. And he's really pumped for this occasion, isn't he?
Won a bronze medal on that apparatus at the World Championships in Glasgow in 2015. As we go across to Yul Moldauer of the USA. Started with a 13.133 on the pommel horse, now tackling the still rings.
Turning the rings out there in the Maltese. Nice opening of the palms in the cross. Swinging up to handstand. Double tuck rotation, double pike rotation, back into the cross. Very difficult to control that momentum, but he does it well. Little adjustment there in the handstand. And builds up. Double twisting, double tuck, feet together. Very nicely done from Yul Moldauer. Here, that forward swing into the 2 forward rotations in the tuck position and the pike position. That's Yamawaki and the Yonason into that cross position. Giving you a wave.
And scoring 13.733. Yul Moldauer, so he's only down by less than a tenth from his qualification mark. Now, Kazumukaya, 14.566. He goes into the provisional leading position. He's lost just under a tenth from qualifying, but he's still an overall gainer by a few tenths here and there after a third of the competition. So, to Xiao Teng, who scored 13.4 for this in qualification, but he was the world champion last year on the pommel horse.
It was. It didn't go to plan, did it, in qualification? So he'll be wanting to rectify that. And look at that line. Beautiful line from the shoulders to the feet. Hips extended to keep the line clean. Up into the handstand. And the triple Russian on the end. Into the flares. With the travel. Difficult work. Oh, and that was so much better than qualification.
Much more what we've come to expect from this gymnast, and now maybe really in the mix for a push for the leaderboard. If you think he was the third strongest with that problem in qualifying.
Yes. Here we see those hand placements on one handle. Look at the extension there and the rotation to manage it all whilst avoiding the handles on the travel and up into very smooth there in the transition. We often see the gymnast use strength, but that was clean.
Now a chance to look for the first time at Carlos Yulo of Philippines.
Oh, and a very big run for him, a 5.6 the difficulty value. Such a small gymnast, but he's so dynamic. Half turn on, wrapping into the twist. Very good work. Just the foot on the line there. It's good to see it from different angles. The judges have a line judge that will oversee there. A 0.1 deduction for the line issue.
And that means a 14.6 for Yulo, and that actually is a little bit of a jump up by almost a couple of tenths from qualification. Good work from him. And Xiao Teng goes into the lead, a score of 15 on the pommel horse. He's gained 1.6 from qualifying, where he was the third strongest. That has suddenly made him a real clear contender for this competition. On the subject of real clear contenders for this competition, he is the leader and the reigning world champion, Artur Dalaloya, and it also didn't go quite according to plan for him in qualifying.
Well, the pressure is now on. He will be aware of the score for Xiao Teng. But he's used to dealing with the pressure. Nice virtuosity and amplitude there. Clean. Oh, lovely flares with spindle. He's working so well. Has a rapid circle. All of these skills originating from the double leg circle. Oh, no, did he bend his leg slightly there? Lost his form for a moment. Well, he was back into the swing straight away. If it was momentary. But a good work from Artur Dalaloya.
He looks a mighty relieved gymnast there.
Yeah, just for a fraction, I think he lost his rhythm and his form. He has such great form in his movement. So it'd be interesting to see. Super close up of the hands and the wrists there.
Now, meanwhile, the French gymnast Loris Frascas produced a lovely 14.833 on vault. He's gained 4/10 from qualification. That will help him. Chance to see Caio Sousa, the gymnast from Brazil, the 22nd strongest in qualification, the all-around champion from Lima 2019, the Pan American Games. He also won a silver medal on the parallel bars.
Spraying those upper arm supports. That's permitted to protect the gymnast. Sure, we'll be shortly seeing a skill where those help him. There, the double front to upper arm support. In terms of help, only in terms of protection, not in terms of technique. Has to do that on his own. Now is the Healy. High flying straddle front somersault. Moving out to the end, and that was the tip out. It's going well. Double front half turn, a very solid, competent performance there on the parallel bars. Good work from Caio Sousa.
I must apologise to all you fans of Pan American gymnastics out there. It was the South American Games where he won the parallel bars silver. Pan American Games where he was the champion. It's all much for a muchness because he did it with the same routine. And he's a gymnast who's a joy to have in any competition because of the energy that he brings.
Yes, a dynamic performer and a super routine there, nailing that double front half turn.
That's a 14 for Delaloyan. He's in second position. He's up a bit from qualification.
Yes, execution just a little bit lower than he may have expected. A slight issue.
So his teammate, Nikita Nagorny, who's proven already during this competition that he is a man who handles nerves. That amazing horizontal bar routine to secure the team title.
Yes, and he's through the first handstand. Oh, very nice. That work on one handle, all of that is where the difficulty gets bumped up. Nagorny going well, keeping his rhythm, keeping his focus, as he has done throughout these World Championships so far. Oh, another super routine from Nikita Nagorny. Will this be his championships?
The reigning European all-around champion. Gosh, was that not a lovely, elegant dismount from the apparatus?
It really was. He did a lot of work on one handle. There's not much room for those hands. Yeah, the determination clear on his face. Smooth lift into the pirouettes. Lifts his chin. Happy with that.
That's a good score from Caio Sousa. 14.7 for him. He's currently in third place in the provisional standings. A lot of gymnasts still to go, though. We'll be at the 1/3 stage of the competition at the end of this rotation. And it looks as though our focus is going to be on Andreas Tober once more.
Yes, he has the support, doesn't he, from the home crowd here. They're willing him along as he adjusts his handguards to begin his rings routine.
Couple of times a national champion on the steel rings. They love watching him do this here in Germany. He's known for it. 14 in qualification.
Pulls immediately into that Maltese position. Very flat, that's what the judges are looking for. Such core strength required, as well as upper body power. Yamawaki, Jonathan into the straddle planche. Trying to keep control of those cables. A little bit of a swing. To handstand. And the full twisted double straight, and the cheer goes up. Well done, Andreas Tober.
Yes, he's so synonymous with this apparatus here in Germany. Now, has he managed to improve upon the 14 he got in qualification?
Yes, Andreas Tober here, working well. Yeah, keeping the knees tucked together tightly, the toes pointed, and the double rotations. Very difficult work. Every muscle engaged. Years of practice to be able to master this apparatus. It's so demanding. And the full twisting double straight, the little arm circle, brings it under control.
Nikita Nagorny, 14.566, so he's up by about half a mark from qualification. Currently in second place, ahead of Dalaloyan. Still Shao that leads the way. Now, Petro Pachniuk has just floated down off the pommel horse and looked very delighted indeed with his performance, so we'll give you an update on him in a little while. But we're going to look at Sam Mikulak of the USA, who was in 8th place after the first rotation.
Yes, and he produced a wonderful parallel bars exercise in the team competition. Very strong on this apparatus. He has difficulty in style. Long swing, somersault half turn, into the straddle front to the end. This is good. High in the Babsar, swinging well. Extension through the shoulders into the tip out. It's keeping it moving. Building to the dismount, double front half turn. Oh yes, that was a very good exercise from Sam Mikulak.
Mikulak appears to be at the races, and I think he knows it too. That's a great start. Good first two displays from the American champion.
Showing his strength of character, coming back from that first competition where really he didn't show the promise that we're used to seeing. He performed so much better in the team competition. Now his third event and going well so far. So high there in the straddle, front somersault, immediately into the long swing. Linking them together, and that, the double front half, he punches the air. He knows it's a good routine.
Andreas Tober scores 13.6, so he's down by 0.4 from qualification. Currently in 19th position. Petro Pachniuk, no wonder he was excited. 14.233, he's up by half a mark from qualifying. And now it is Sun Wei of the People's Republic of China, who scored 12.9 for this in qualification.
Starts with the two handstands. And again, lovely line. Keeping very well clear of the handles. Somewhere's working well at the moment. Chibado travel backwards. Oh, and a super routine. Sun Wei showing no signs of the difficulties he had in the team competition. He's obviously reflected and pulled himself together. A great approach to the pommel horse. Here, the work between the handles. Stylish in the form. Keeping the execution deductions to a minimum. Feet locked together there. Good work from him. It'll be interesting to see what the judges make of that.
Now, what do they make of this? Oh, okay. Hello, Sam Mikulak. 15.325. He is in third place. Bearing in mind, 27th was where he finished in qualification. Might just be a different day at the office for the American.
Yes, he's moving on to the horizontal bar next. Again, another apparatus that's strong for him.
Milad Karimi of Kazakhstan didn't have the easiest time of things on vault to get underway, but here he goes on the parallel bars. He does enjoy this piece.
Tall gymnast. And when he extends in that handstand, very elegant. High straddle front to upper arms. Tip out, back up to the handstand. Moving smoothly at the moment. Diamondov, just a little hand placement there, trying to avoid any unnecessary adjustments if possible. And there, the double front half turn, a very strong routine from him. He can be proud of that.
What one has to love about Milad Karimi, this is a gymnast who broke his arm on the parallel bars over a year ago, and rather than shy away from that, he's come back and attacked the apparatus, making it something that he's actually known for as a gymnast. He always says if you fear injury, that's when you'll get injured, and he's a very resilient young athlete.
Yeah, 20 years of age, and controlling his nerves here and his form. Nice style in the swing. Feet locked together. Driving up into the double somersault in the forward rotation, half turn. And a difficult skill to land, but he does a very good job of it.
Sun Wei, a big score, 14.991. He's up by over 2 marks from qualification, the 5th strongest qualifier. What a start he has made.
Well, an interesting competition this is turning out to be.
14.1 for Milad Karimi, up by a 10th from qualification. Generally speaking, we're finding ourselves saying up. Now then, Loris Frasca of France on the vault.
Oh, very nice vault from Loris Frasca. Nods to the judges. Super style in the air. Half turn on, wrapping into the twist. 3 rotations. Very good work indeed.
It was back in 1903 at the first championships in Antwerp that Joseph Martinez won the men's individual all-round gold for France, and Frasca's just produced a lovely vault there, virtually a 15 score. Well, that is how things are at the end of the second rotation. Up by 2 places is Xiao Teng. Nagorny in second, and Mikulak has moved up by 5. Dalaloyan down 3. Sun is up by 5. James Hall is up by 9. Carlos Yulo's up by 8. Petro Pakniuk has moved up a couple, and Li Chi-kai has dropped down 10 places, having started on his favoured apparatus, the pommel horse. Down at the bottom end of the order, Oliver Heggie had a little bit of difficulty with his dismount on the still rings, and he is down 12 places into 21st.
Yes, and interestingly, 1.001 between first and 6th. So that's just 1 fall separating the top 6 gymnasts after 2 apparatus, and we've still got 4 to go.
Hope you're handling it all right at home. Great competition, and Sam Mikulak is very much a part of the conversation, considering that he was the 27th strongest. He was the lowest automatic qualifier for the all-around final, and he's in the bronze medal position at the 1/3 mark. This is the leading group, and they are taking to the rings.
Xiao Teng will set them off. He'll be the first competitor on the rings. He will set the standard that they will all be chasing.
Which is exactly what he's done so far in the competition. That's the only 30-plus score after 2 pieces. These are the gymnasts in the second group. They are vaulting at the moment, and a chance maybe for some of them just to move a little bit higher up the order of things. Vanyaev is in joint 7th place with Kazumikaya.
Yes, don't rule him out. He has a very strong vault and some excellent work on parallel bars to come.
To wit, here are the parallel bars, and this is the 3rd highest group of qualifiers. And competing on the parallel bars, Joe Fraser of Great Britain, the 3rd strongest qualifier for the parallel bars final. And the first opportunity for the horizontal bar to come into play, and Sam Mikulak is going to perform on the horizontal bar, which he did very well indeed in the team competition.
Yes, the 2nd highest qualifier as well. He's made the final, and we know he's strong on the horizontal bar, so certainly one to watch in this rotation.
Petro Pakniuk is currently in 9th place. He is currently in 7th place.
This is Kazuma Kaya. He will be focusing on the job at hand. Japanese taking the bronze medal in the team competition, as they did back in 2018. Without Koei Uchimura or Kenzo Shirai, it'll be interesting to see their team selections for Tokyo next year.
How opposite, as we talk about the team competition, we have a glance at the gymnast who was consoled by Arthur Dalaloyan in almost a curious inversion of Doha 2018. Sun Wei, who had such difficulties on this very piece of apparatus. But this is a gymnast we're watching warming up now, who has looked very good on the horizontal bar thus far.
Yes, the horizontal bar has brought us much drama, hasn't it, already? And no doubt you will be overwhelmed by the talent and the difficulty that you're going to see on display here. Just millimetres the difference between success and failure on that apparatus.
That was a glance just a moment ago at the leader so far, Xiaoru Teng, the 23-year-old gymnast born in Beijing. It is Kazuma Kaya who's going through his warm-up process at the moment. He scored a 14.033 for the still rings in the qualification campaign, was part of the team Kaya that won the bronze medal at last year's World Championships, that secured Japan that most coveted spot at the Summer Olympiad.
And interestingly, from qualification of this group, Nikita Gornius had the highest score on this apparatus. We know it doesn't always go in the same way, but 14.4 was his score, so that might be something that we're looking towards, seeing if our gymnast can compete and produce that sort of a score or better.
What we are going to get, which is most interesting indeed, is the leader will be the first to go, so we're going to really get a very clear indication early on of who is close to him at the halfway mark of the competition, or indeed above him. Here is Xiaoru Teng.
Pressing into the top planche and down into the Maltese, linking those strength moves together, so difficult. Double tuck into the Maltese. Jonasson into cross, hands just opening out to show he has control. Each of those elements have to be held for 2 seconds to count. Winding up into the dismount. Just a waver of the arms, bringing it under control at the end, but another good performance from Xiaoru Teng.
Well, he's a gymnast who's spoken at length about just how much he loves the feeling when things are going well, how that one good routine makes him deliver a better next one and a better next one. And it seems that we're seeing that from him at the moment. He's really in full swing.
Yes, look at that. Keeping as flat as possible. Pencil straight from the shoulders down to the ankles. And they're wrapping into the twist and the double somersault. Desperate to avoid that additional foot placement at the end. Every 10th counts.
Lee Jung-hyo of the Republic of Korea is competing on the horizontal bar, the 24th strongest in qualification.
Yes, and a first look at this apparatus. Including, oh, well, he wasn't straight there, was he, coming out? He's had to correct his body position. Now he's back into the swing with the giant circles. The full pirouette, the hop full. Stolder, 1.5 for Balco. There's the Stolder, that straddle circle backwards. And winding up, full twisting, double straight, and a hop back at the end. Shame, he had to correct himself at the beginning of that routine. It recovered very well. Avoided a fall, but that's where he went a little bit askew. To use a bit of a strength there to push himself back into the handstand position. But as we say, recovered well.
11.991 for the gymnast who has been in horizontal bar finals at the Asian Championships. Xiao Teng scores 13.933, so he's up by a tenth from his qualification display and is currently the leader as we approach the halfway mark, but with some way to go. Now to Arthur Dalaloyan, who scored a 14.133 in qualification.
Yes, potentially has a more difficult routine than Xiao Teng. Look at that, it's just absolutely beautiful. So flat, and extension right the way to the toes. Talk about pointed toes. If you want a good example of that, watch Arthur Dalaloyan. Samawaki Jonasson lowering into the cross. Up to the handstand, keeping the cables as still as possible. Forward swing to handstand. Well, such an accomplished competitor. Another impressive performance there from the reigning all-around world champion.
Now, just to give you a quick update on action elsewhere, Oleg Vanyayev just scored a 14.8 on vault. Very accomplished display from him. So we'll see exactly what that means for the standings as we get to the halfway point. But here is Caio Sousa from Brazil. Horizontal bar gold medalist at the South American Games in Cochabamba last year.
Starts in a mixed grip. Half turn and into the impressive release and regrasp elements. Straight Kachev, straddle Kachev to mixed. And another big release. That was the Coleman, the full twisting Kovac, and a somersault over the top of the bar. Oh, well, adding to the difficulty with another release. That was the Ginga, the back somersault, half turn to catch. Very good work from Caio Sousa. He didn't hold back on the difficulty and performed it very well indeed.
I'm not sure Caio Sousa's ever held back at any point in his life, such is his nature as a gymnast. But that will be a vast improvement, 11.666 in qualification for him.
Well, action all around the arena, moving from one apparatus to the next. And here Nikita Nagorny really taking a deep breath. He knows this next routine matters.
Arthur Dalaloyan scores 14.433, and what that means is we have about 3/10 between Xiao and Dalaloyan at the moment. Oleg Vanyayev is currently in second place, courtesy of that excellent vault. Nikita Nagorny was in second place coming into this rotation.
Yes, as we said earlier, highest scorer of this first group in qualification on the rings, and so far this has been a very good exercise. Two somersaults between the rings, into the cross. Those double rotations, so difficult to control. There's the straddle planche. Incredible upper body strength required. Swing forward to handstand. Double twisting, double tuck. Very good routine from Nikita Nagorny. He's still very much in contention.
The reigning Russian champion on the still rings. Also won the Youth Olympic Games gold in 2014.
And look at that work, turning the rings out, keeping the control, opening the palms. Such determination, such a gritty performance from Nikita Nagorny.
A compact race is developing. Caio Sousa is in fifth place with a 13.9 score on the horizontal bar, well up by over 2 marks from his qualification display. That'll help the gymnast who was 22nd in qualification. Now we're just going to go back to earlier in the competition. This is Oleg Vanyayev's impressive vault.
Oh, and impressive it was. A handspring double front half, the Dragulescu, a 5.6. And he has performed this time and time again, and every time we see it, it doesn't fail to overwhelm you. What a performance that was, Oleg Vanyayev.
A thing of beauty, that vault. 14.8 for Vanyayev. So currently in 3rd position. He's just dropped down a touch, and that's because of a certain score we're going to get in a moment. But let's stick with the vault and look at Andreas Tober, the home gymnast.
And another solid performance from him. Mr. Consistent. He did it for the team. He's doing well for himself here in this individual competition. Powered through the approach, wrapping into the twists. Very good work for Andreas Tober.
14.366, up a couple of tenths. There is Tober, whose father was a European medalist on a couple of occasions. Marius, very well-known gymnast. Nikita Nagorny, 14.633, and we've got ourselves a new 1st place.
Yes, a 6.0 difficulty, and very well executed. He takes the lead.
My, very interesting movement at the top. What can Petro Patniuk do to impact the standings? This was not his strongest piece in qualification, 13.466.
Yes, very nice cross position there, though. Held well with the shoulders low. Just composes himself a fraction of a second there. Moves into those 2 rotations. Jonathan Yamawaki into the straddle planche position. The lever up to handstand. Using his strength to press him up. Swing to handstand. Trying to keep the rings as still as possible. Backwards then forwards. And the double pike front to finish the routine. Very nice routine from Petro Patniuk. Again.
I was going to say, he's very much in place, hasn't he, in this leading group?
He has, he certainly has. Here, driving the heels up and pulling into the double pike for that dismount from the rings. Again, slightly lower in difficulty, managing difficulty and execution.
Now, chance to see Great Britain competing on the parallel bars. James Hall, after Joe Fraser, his teammate, scored 14.9 a moment ago.
And James has been such a consistent performer for Great Britain. High in that straddle front. Good work from James Hall so far. Healy turn. It's onto one rail and back again. And lifting up into the double tuck. Well controlled. Another good performance from James Hall.
Gymnast who is the reigning British all-around champion. He also took parallel bars gold at those British Championships, so a piece that he's had some good success on of late. Patniuk scores 13.433, so that's virtually the same, just a few hundreds down from qualifying.
Yes, that 5.3 difficulty value makes all the difference, I think, on the rings.
Now, on the subject of difficulty values, Sam Mikulak competing on the horizontal bar. This is a big routine. It's also a huge moment in the complexion of the competition.
Yes, capable of a 6+ difficulty on the horizontal bar. There's a Casina, full twisting straight. Kovac over the top. Same in the tuck position, the Coleman. Straight Kachev. Straddle Kachev to mix. Some huge releases in this, and so far he's doing it very well indeed. The one-arm work, stooping and out, coming out in that handstand position, hop full. Stolder. Just a dismount to go. Double it is, and that's fabulous work from Sam Mikulak.
Oh, Sam Mikulak, you do beguile us. What on earth is going on here?
Bronze medalist on this apparatus last year. He's made the high bar final. And look at this. The rotations over the top of the bar with the twist, so difficult to master. The culmination of his routine, double twisting, double straight.
At the halfway mark of the competition, Sam Mikulak is clean as a whistle and sharp as a thistle. James Hall gets 14.2 on the parallel bars. He's in 8th place at the moment.
Yes, and a big improvement on qualification for him. He'll be very pleased with that.
Sun Wei, 6th place at the 1/3 mark of the competition. 5th strongest in qualification. 14 was his score in qualifying on the rings.
Immediately up into that top planche position, lowering into the Maltese. "24 years of age." Nice, the double rotation into the Maltese again. Jonasson lowering into the cross. Pushing out into the handstand. A little readjustment there. Only minor. Double twisted, double tuck. Good routine from him, Sun Wei. Slight bend of the knees at the end there. Let's have another look at that dismount. Just quite a deep landing, a hop forward. Nothing major, but all of those little execution errors may make the difference.
13.966. Scored just slightly down from qualification. The problem is, it's becoming very condensed at the top of the leaderboard, and he is at the very top of the leaderboard. Halfway mark of the competition, Sam Mikulak, who barely scraped in, is in the lead. He's just scored a 14.7 on the horizontal bar. This is a bit fairy tale at the moment, isn't it?
A superb performance there from Sam Mikulak, probably on his most favoured apparatus. So the competition continues, and we're back to the rings.
What an absolutely joyous final we've got developing here in the men's all-around competition at the 49th World Championships of Artistic Gymnastics. Here, Kazuma Kaya, the Japanese gymnast, who was the 4th strongest in qualification.
So many gymnasts with a real shot at this title. He is one of them. Working hard in the Maltese. And in the cross position. Straddle planche position, up into the handstand. So it's good work. Forward swing so far, an excellent routine. Oh, and a very big dismount from Kazuma Kaya. Really upping the difficulty at the end. Rotating in the straight position, he punches the air. That's another great challenge from him. Takes the handguards off. Satisfied with that performance, I'm sure. Look at this. Double twisting, double straight. High in the difficulty. and well executed.
Anyone's guess which way this is going. Mikulak leads, Nagorny second, Shao third, Venyaev fourth. Carlos Yulo was on the inside of the top 10 at the end of the last rotation. This is his third performance. He'll be performing on the floor exercise very late on, which will suit him nicely.
Yes, came into prominence last year at his first World Championships from the Philippines, but he's been training in Japan, and it's clearly made a difference because he is a super competitor to watch. Onto one rail. Healy turn. Long swing on the end, into the Babsat. Good work. Nice tip out. Immediately up to the handstand. Diamidov. And a double pike to finish, an absolutely beautiful landing. That was super work. Yes, a great routine there from Carlos Adriel Yulo. Certainly one to watch.
He's just a lovely gymnast, isn't he?
Look at the height there, way above the rails in the Babsat. Extension through to the toes. Complete focus throughout. So impressive, he's tiny gymnast. There, the double pike, bringing it under control. Strength of character, strength of work.
Kazmakaya, 14.3. He's in 6th place, 43.166. So it's getting very tough at the top indeed in this competition. Just working our way towards the end of this rotation. But it is absolutely fascinating because Sam Mikulak of the USA is currently the leader. My. What a story we could have developing here. Meanwhile, action continues on the horizontal bar with Ludovico Edali.
Straight Kachev. Feet locked together, nice body form as he goes over the top of the bar into the straddle Kachev. And the straddle Kachev with mixed grip. Good work. There's the stoop in. But the shoulder flexibility required, under grasp at the moment, in the endo circle, that forward circle in the straddle position. Hands close together. All of the grip changes, all of the pirouettes important. Hop full. And the full twisting, double straight somersault, a very good routine from him.
The 25-year-old serves in the Italian Air Force, so he's used to getting a lot of height and making a decent landing. Certainly managed that there.
Yeah, it's a tall gymnast, needs a lot of lift away from the bar in order to create those rotations in the straight position, but he does it very well indeed.
13.733 is his score. He's gained half a mark from qualification, so really well done to Ludovico Edali. He was 15th in the all-round competition in the European Championships earlier this year. Carlos Yulo, 14.833, his mark on the parallel bars. That's a gain of 0.4 from qualification. So we're seeing lots of strong gains all around. And what it means is that Sam Mikulak is up 2 and leading the way. Shao is down 2 and in bronze. Venyaev has vaulted up into 4th place. Dalaloyan down 1, higher up 1. Joe Fraser, big mover, up into 7th place. Down the standings, Kaya Souza's dropped down to the very edge of the top 10. Petro Pakniuk from that top group is down in 14th position at the moment. Tang Chia-hung has moved up a few places, and Andreas Tober has done as well. He was at the bottom of the standings And unfortunately now that is Robert Tvorigal of Lithuania, who's down 6 places into 24th. So that's as clear as mud then, isn't it?
Well, a very interesting going into the next rotation where we have some of our leaders on vaults where you can score highly. Oleg Verniayev is such a great worker on the parallel bars. We need to watch out for him because he may well creep up. And this man, Sam Mikulak, in qualification only scored 11.533, but in the team final scored 3 whole marks more on floor exercise. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens in this 4th rotation.
Well, absolutely worth holding that in the air right now, because he indeed is going some, is Sam Mikulak. He's having a wonderful competition. He's having the competition that many have believed he's always been capable of having. And at the moment, that gentleman leads the way. He doesn't lead by much. We're into the hundreds, half a tenth of margin over the reigning European champion, Nikita Nagorny. It's that close. If you're just joining the action, you've missed a lot, but there's more still to come. Ollie Hopwin here with Dr. Lisa Gannon in Stuttgart, bringing you this all-around final in men's artistic gymnastics at the 49th World Championships. So the floor exercise for the group of gymnasts that qualified as the 4th highest group, and Caio Souza will get things underway, the Brazilian gymnast who performed ever so well on the horizontal bar and has resulted in the top 10 on the horizontal bar. It will be the group of gymnasts that were the 3rd highest group of qualifiers, 2nd to go, will be the best performer so far that we've seen in horizontal bar qualification. Tang Xiaohong, the reigning Asian Games champion. He's got an absolutely thunderous routine on the horizontal bar. It's a pleasure to watch, and it's very consistent as well. On the vault, here's the chance for the leading group, particularly the likes of Dalaloy and Nagorny. They've got some big numbers to really deliver and eat away at Mikulak's lead.
Yes, both of them have made the vault final. Expect big things from them. And the Olympic champion will be going first on the parallel bars.
They're just coming from all corners at the moment, the challengers, the contenders. On the floor exercise, what can Sam Mikulak deliver? He will tell us in a short while. The current leader who scored, as Lisa said just a moment ago, only 11.533 in qualifying, and then was utterly transformed in the team final.
Which Sam Mikulak will we see on floor in this rotation? He seems very relaxed, actually, walking around the competition floor, which is nice to see.
At the moment, I'm just shouting out numbers in the hope that it will lead to some kind of data trend that I can identify. I really feel like I just need to invest in the crystal ball in some form of clairvoyancy and start reading entrails or something to try to work out exactly what's going to happen, because...
Don't try and predict anything, Ollie. That's the best way. No predictions are the best way. Say what you see.
There was a footballer once, wasn't there, who said, I never predict anything and I never will do.
Because as we've seen in all of the events so far, we've had some unexpected and wonderful results coming through. So who knows who will take the medals here, but I hope you're enjoying it at home.
And if you're not, why not? You should be, because it's wonderful gymnastics, and every all-around competition develops its own rather splendid personality. We said right at the start that Sam Mikulak had the potential to be a real contender, and he has agreed with that assessment.
Well, this gymnast had the 2nd highest score in qualification on vault. He'll be wanting to reproduce that performance here.
Artur Dalaloyan, 5th at the halfway mark of the competition, the reigning world champion. He's got a fight on his hands to reclaim his crown, but this is a place to do it.
Oh, well, he saved himself from falling, but it was very close, wasn't it? Went for a huge vault. 5.6 in difficulty, handspring, 2.5 rotations in a pike position, but a very deep squat. foot out of the area and a huge step back. There'll certainly be execution errors there. But such style in the air. Look at that pike position. Well, it's hard to tell. I'm glad I'm not a judge.
It really is hard to tell at such pace. Did he squat down and then come bouncing back up again? But how close was he to being in a fully supine position?
He did very well to save it from a complete fall, but there will be a big deduction for that landing.
Now, this could have quite a substantial impact on things at the end of this rotation, because Dalaloyan scored 15.133 in the qualification process.
Yeah, it's a beautiful vault in qualification. You saw his style there in the air, but a much better landing in qualification.
He's already been utterly overjoyed so far in these championships, courtesy of the victory in the team competition, Russia's first ever. He will be a little more muted when this score comes in. That's a big drop, 14.066.
Yes, a whole mark lower than in qualification. Now, what consequence will that have on his final standings? We'll have to wait and see. Taking it in, he has 2 more apparatus to go to put things right. Now has the door opened for his compatriot.
We shall find out as the reigning European all-around champion and the bronze medalist from last year, Nikita Nagorny, steps up. Nagorny occupying the silver medal position at the halfway stage of the competition. His vault scored 14.9 in qualification. If he delivers this, he's back in the game.
Oh, it's a beautiful vault. What a beauty. He's nailed it. He performed in the team event under pressure. He's gone and done it again there. The Dragulescu, a 5.6, handspring double front in the top position with the half twist and not a waver on the landing. Superb.
And then he walks away like a man taking a stroll in the park on a summer's day, as if that was effortless. Incredible. We've seen a few incredible things from this man, haven't we, over the years on this piece?
Yes, the reigning Olympic champion on the parallel bars.
Oleg Vanyayev just lurking outside the podium places coming into this rotation, and now he has the chance to make it count. This, his signature piece.
Needs to draw upon all of his experience here. On the hot to start. Under somersault to one rail, that was beautifully performed. And again to one rail, building the difficulty. Extended in the tip out. Oh, so high in the Babsar. Really turn. And Oleg Vanyayev really rises to the challenge. An excellent routine on the parallel bars from the Olympic champion. He's still in contention.
We have yet more contenders, more runners and riders in this race.
It had to be good, and it was. Double front half turn, just a tiny little hop on landing. He punches the air. He knows he's done a good job. They saved him in the team event, not putting him on this apparatus, surprisingly so, but maybe hoping that he'd be fresh for this event.
We'll go across the horizontal bar. This is the British gymnast Joe Fraser competing. We'll hope it will go better for him than the team final.
Yes, he has had problems on the horizontal bar in both qualification and in the team final. Straight Kachev, straddle Kachev. There's a concealer in the straight position, that somersault over the bar. He does it again in the tuck position. There it is now. He's gone clean this time round so far on the skills that he had problems with earlier on here in Stuttgart. Stooping and out with the full pirouette. There's the Stolder. Just a dismount to go. Oh, and a lovely dismount. Well done, Joe Fraser. Finally, he's got through his horizontal bar routine cleanly. He'll be very happy with that. Bit of a relief for him. And again, keeps himself high up on the ranks. Or in the ranks, should I say.
The reigning English champion on the horizontal bar, Joe Fraser, scores 14. And that will do very nicely indeed, up by almost a couple of marks from the qualification performance. Now we're waiting for a very significant score to come in just a moment, which will likely have some kind of impact on the leaderboard, and we'll bring you it just as soon as we are able to do that, the work of Oleg Vernyayev. But we've got another important order of business to attend to. Here is the leader at the halfway mark. This is the big one. His scoring qualification was 11.533. Can he land everything successfully?
There's a double pike in the forward direction to begin the routine. Oh, that was a difficult combination and well completed. That's why he had a problem in qualification. Into the flares with Spindle. One and a half full twisting straight front combination. And the triple to finish. A good job from Sam Mikulek, holding his head when he needed to, performing under pressure.
Every single test so far he has passed. There's still some way to go, but this is looking great.
Yes, look at this, 2.5 twist into the double front. So difficult. The first skill, difficult enough in its own right, but then to put the double tuck front on the end.
Nikita Nagorny, 15.066, a wonderful score on vault, and he is up there in the lead. And I'm sure you also caught a glimpse there of Oleg Vernyayev being really well positioned. That's why it's massive. 15.475. Ukrainian is very much a key player in this contest.
A 6.7 difficulty value. He really went for it, didn't he? And he produced the routine that he needed to keep him in the all-around standings.
Sun Wei was just inside the top 10 at the halfway point. Now he vaults.
Oh, such acceleration on the approach. Lots of length in flight off the top of the vault there. Just a foot outside of the line. There will be a penalty for that. Wrapping into the twist. Good form in the air. Yes, I'll take the deduction of 5.6, the difficulty value for that vault. Let's see what the judges make of his vault.
That's what they make of his vault. A 14.6. Sun Wei is in 5th position in the standings. Kazumikaya could have something to say about all of this.
And again, the foot out. There will be a penalty, but a solid performance. Nothing too major in terms of execution. Slightly simpler vault than Sun Wei. Half a twist less.
14 is the score for Kazumikaya. 6th position in the all-around final at the moment.
Yes, the 5.2, the difficulty for that vault.
On we go with Xiaoriu Teng.
Very good vault. It always amazes me how he manages to produce so much lift with such a easy, almost stroll in the park approach to the vault. Some of them are really sprinting as fast as they can, but he's a very controlled, almost laboured runner, but he manages to produce the vault. Such difficulty, yeah.
He rather trundles up, doesn't he? And then suddenly,
yes,
that wonderful explosion. It
pops off the top.
It goes to show it's not just power, is it? It's control.
Yes, it's a technique, converting that vertical momentum into lift.
Sam Mikulak is currently in third place, 14.4. Very good score. He's gained about 3 marks from qualifying, and he has got a mark over the reigning world champion in 4th place.
Yes, he's doing very well, isn't he? Performing consistently there. Not quite as high as some of the scores we saw right at the beginning of the all-around on floor, but well enough. He's going well enough to keep him in contention.
He's just dropped down into 4th now, though, because Xiao Teng has scored a 14.8 for his score on the vault. And what it means in terms of the numbers is that Xiao is half a tenth ahead of Mikulak. That's the gap between bronze and 4th place at the moment. Well, well, well. Most intriguing gymnastics we've got here in Stuttgart.
We told you it was going to be exciting, didn't we?
We would never lie to you. That's how things stand at the moment in the men's all-around competition.
Well, I wouldn't put money on any of these gymnasts. I'd put money on them being fantastic as they are, but in terms of the results, I couldn't call it.
Fortunately, we don't have to. That's down to the judges. They make the determining factor without sentiment and solely by adhering to the code of points. And now they'll do this for James Hall.
And the Casina, that straight somersault over the top with full twist. The first release. And there's the second, the Kovac. And the Coleman. Oh, well, yes, just not quite the timing of the release in the Coleman. So that full twisting tuck somersault. He did it in the straight position. He did it without the twist, but the third time round, just there, getting one hand on, a good shot of the high bar there, and not able to get the left hand back on and continue with his swing. So he mounts again, and he'll take the whole mark deduction, and he must complete his routine. Stoop in and out. Up full. Stolder, this is swinging well since he's remounted the bar. And a very, very nice dismount indeed from James Hall. Costly mistake in the middle. That was a shame.
Yes, reigning British champion on this piece.
Yes, beautifully controlled there in the double twisting, double straight.
Competition continues. It's a chance to go and have a look at some work on the parallel bars. And Oliver Heggie, who was just outside of the top 20 gymnasts coming into the second half of the competition.
Yes, renowned for some of his work on the horizontal bar, but a good worker on the parallel bars as well. Long line. Straddle front somersault to upper arm. Slight adjustment. Into the tip out. A little bit of extra movement there in terms of hand placements just before the double pike, which is very nicely performed. So good work there. Few little execution errors to consider for Oliver Heggie.
Did win a silver medal on this at the European Championships last year in Glasgow.
Yes, they're driving the legs back into that straddle position. Needs the flight time to complete the rotation to upper arm. Turns out to the end of the apparatus. And there, look at that. Power into the double pike. Just a hop forward. Nothing much at all. Good execution of the dismount.
For James Hall, it's 12.8. That full mark of deduction applied. He's currently in 13th place, so he's down a place on where he was coming into the rotation. Might well fall a little further depending on what happens in some of these other performances. And it is Andreas Tober who's the next to compete.
And the audience showing their appreciation of his efforts so far, clapping each move. There's the Healy turn. Working out onto one rail. That's nice. Back up to the handstand. And the double pike to finish. Very nicely controlled. Andreas Tober pleasing the crowd here. The super routine. Well done to him. Drawing on all of his experience. There's those 2 pike rotations backwards. What a competitor he's been.
He has performed wonderfully. Shown such spirit for the team, and the fans have responded in kind as he scores 13.908. Is comfortably inside the top 20 at the moment. Andreas Tober is the 13th best in qualification, so he's performing roughly where expected. Oliver Heggie 14.066 for his display on the parallel bars. He's also inside that top 20 group of gymnasts. And we'll continue with some work on the parallel bars. And it is Yul Moldauer of the USA, who was actually the strongest American qualifier in 11th place. Haven't had too much chance to look at him so far.
Yeah, sometimes he can be a little bit under the radar, but he produces some wonderful work. There's the Healy. A light frame, but don't be deceived, he's very strong. Oh, very nice. Long swing. Into the pirouette and again into that back somersault with half turn. Between the rails. And that was impressive as well. Different entry. Double front, half turn, a very good routine from Yul Moldauer. Scored 14.4 in qualification with a 6.0 difficulty value.
Well, when one bears in mind that Moldauer has been the American all-around champion before, he's somebody that you you certainly cannot count out making a late run to push higher up in the standings.
Yes, that's right. Part of the team that placed 4th in the team final. And a very good individual competitor.
Still have some gymnasts to participate on the parallel bars and the horizontal bar. So let us have a look once more at a gymnast who we've followed throughout this competition. Carlos Yulo of the Philippines, who scored 13.033 for this display in qualification. First gymnast from the Philippines to win a World Championship medal when he took the floor bronze in Doha a year ago.
Yes, and it's worth remembering he'll be moving on to the floor exercise in the next rotation. But let's just concentrate on this for the moment. Starts with a hop over. Stoop in, half turn out. Has to be within 5 degrees of the vertical, which it appeared to be. Very high and beautifully performed Kovac. Tight in the tuck, feet and ankles locked together. That's the endo. Double twisted, double straight. What a landing. Well, beautiful execution. Such a talent.
And as you say, the execution is just joyous with Carlos Yulo. That dismount was super.
Yes, and look at this, that Kovac over the top, knees locked together. Moving directly into the swing there. And double twist, double straight, and look at that, chest upright. No waver of the feet, just pulls the heels together. That's how it's done.
14.666 is the score for Yul Moldauer, who's currently just outside of that top 10 group of gymnasts in the all-around competition. And that's what you're watching if you're just switching on your televisions. We've got a third of the competition still to go. And it's Pablo Brega of Switzerland who's competing on parallel bars. This was his best piece in qualification.
Yes, Pablo Brega with that unusual mount into the tip out. Nice work. Keeping the flow, keeping the momentum. Yamadov. And there, keeping the line in the handstand. Driving into the dismount, double front, half turn, just a pace. Another good routine from Pablo Brega. Brega even.
Yes, he's a gymnast who is very reliable on this piece, and the all-around Swiss silver medalist last month at their national championships.
Yes, let's take another look at him. Yeah, going to that upper arm support. The gymnast working through handstand, through support, through upper arm and swing. Showing versatility in their movements, trying to avoid any unnecessary hand placements. He's doing that very well indeed. And here the big pike as he drives his feet back up into the top position, 2 rotations forward and the half turn. And a 6.2 difficulty value in qualification.
Carlos Yulo with 13.5, and he's top 10 at the moment as we come to the final third of this all-around final in men's artistic gymnastics at the World Championships here in Stuttgart. Brega is in 20th position, 14.666 for him. That's exactly what he did in qualification, so he's performed with good consistency so far. The lead at this stage is very small indeed. Oleg Verniaev is very close to Nikita Nagorny. Verniaev has won so much throughout his career. He has not been the world all-around champion before.
Yes, he's come so close, hasn't he, in the past? And he will be chasing hard, I'm sure. They've saved him for this particular event. Second all-around in Rio by just a tenth or so.
The standings, Verniaev, Nagorny up 1, Mikulak down 3, Shao not moving. So it's Russia, Ukraine, China in the medal places at the moment. Sun Wei has come back up a little bit. Looking down the leaderboard, James Hall has dropped down a few places as a result of that loss of contact with the horizontal bar. Yul Moldauer has jumped up a couple of positions as well. Kaio Souza is inside the top 10 a little bit more comfortably now, and Milad Karimi, who started this competition in a difficult fashion on the vault, has moved up. He's getting closer to that top 15 group of gymnasts. It's Lee Jun-kyo just dropping down a couple of positions into 23rd place, and Pablo Brega has moved up to as a result of his strong performance on the parallel bars. It is very tight indeed. Nagorny 1, Verniaev 2, Shao 3. The gap is less than 2/10 from gold to silver. Very close. It's a few tenths from silver to bronze. It's a single, or less than a single tenth from bronze to fourth. He leads the way.
Gymnast, your warm-up begins.
Well, he will finish on the horizontal bar. But
Well, we know he can handle that, don't we?
We certainly do from the team event. Yes, he's on parallel bars now. And he will be up first.
Right, the parallel bars. Nikita Nagorny gets things underway. Then it will be Petro Pachniuk, who's currently in 13th place. Sun Wei is in 6th position. He's the next gymnast to go. Over on the horizontal bar, we've got Lee Chi-kai getting things started. Oliver Heggie will be performing third on the horizontal bar. Has a real pedigree on that apparatus. Venyaev will be the last to go. Key performance coming up for Venyaev.
Yes, he has a very interesting story. Just missed out in Rio, then went to Montreal 2017, where Uchimura pulled out because of an ankle injury. Really, it was open for Venyaev, but he didn't have a great competition. Ended up 8th all-around, and it was Yao Tang who came forward and took the all-around title on that occasion. So, obviously, Artur Dalaloyan last year. Could this be Oleg Venyaev's year? Who knows?
What about Sam Mikulak, who is going to perform on the pommel horse? Now, Mikulak scored 12.6 for the pommel horse in qualification, but we've kept saying that all along, and so far it hasn't meant a thing.
No, it hasn't. Forget qualification. All that matters is the here and now. But there's lots of apparatus still to come, and we're wanting to watch everything at the same time. It's all going on. Halting up here in terms of the atmosphere and the tension.
Petro Pachniuk has just slightly been raced out of things at the moment, down in 13th place. Not because he hasn't had a perfectly acceptable competition, but because it's just very compact at the top of the leaderboard, really.
Yes, the standard has been exceptionally high, and so far we haven't seen as many mistakes as we saw in qualification. So, production of some wonderful routines.
The Russian flags were flying there just for a moment. Will they fly at the end of this competition? Artur Dalaloyan last year was the second Russian man to win the all-around at the World Championships after Nikolai Kryukov in 1999. We've had very many extremely strong competitors over the years come extremely close and just find themselves out of contention in 4th position after the final rotation. It's down to the very narrowest of margins right now.
Yes, every tenth matters.
Japan, a nation that's had great success at the World Championships in the men's individual all-around in recent years. A gentleman by the name of Uchimura won it a couple of times here and there. 6 in a row, of course.
Yes, along with his 2 consecutive Olympic Games as well. And the question is, will we see him in Tokyo next year? Well, that question may be for another day.
Yes, if you don't mind, we're just struggling to keep on top of all the questions here. It's, well. We have got a very interesting last couple of rotations still to come in this last bit of all-around competition at the World Championships of 2019. It's the apparatus specialists, many of whom we're seeing here today. They take centre stage over the weekend. And what a competition it's been for the gymnasts from the team of Chinese Taipei. I'm sure you saw there, Lee Chi-kai is quite heavily supported around the shoulders. He's got a lot of protective taping on, and some of these gymnasts from Chinese Taipei have performed a lot more than they're used to at the World Championships because they've done so well.
They've done incredibly well. They put 12 whole marks on their team total from Doha last year and ended up placing 6th in the team final, which is remarkable. Qualified a team for Tokyo. Now it's all about individuals, and this is Lee Chi-kai on the horizontal bar. Straight Kachev, swinging nicely into the straddle Kachev, catching with extended arms. That's what the judges want to look for in terms of execution. It's all about swing on the horizontal bar, not strength. And swing he did into that double twisting, double straight. Another superb routine there from Lee Chi-kai.
gymnast who was the 7th strongest performer in the qualification process. What a journey he's been on.
Yes, they have really been on the ascendancy in terms of the world of gymnastics in the men's competition. Impressive here in Stuttgart.
The reigning all-around champion in the Asian Championships, Lee Chi-kai. Now, parallel bars, a lot of exciting action taking place in this particular rotation. And we're going to get things underway with the leader, but to say a runaway leader would be an outright lie because the gap is 59.306 to 59.141. We really are at the every single 10th counts phase, and 10ths can be easily lost on the parallel bars for little extra adjustments with the hands here and there.
Yes, the all-important chalk being applied. We're ready for his routine.
The leader, Nikita Nagorny, it's pressure time, his penultimate routine. The European champion gets underway.
Honma hop. Onto one rail, no mistake there. Very slight softening for a second in the back. Very minor. That was clean. Oh, excellent work. Feet locked together, keeping his form. And the double front half turn. Well, he is keeping the pressure on. He went about his business and he did it so well.
Probably not necessary for me to say to you that he's the Russian national champion on the parallel bars. You can probably tell after that performance.
Look at that, onto one rail, so difficult. Narrow base of support, balance and control required. And this is the dismount. 2 rotations forward, half turn, knees together. Mastery of that dismount.
13.1, Lee Chi-kai's score on the horizontal bar. Would have expected that to be his lowest score. And he's only dropped by a 10th or so from qualifying. Okay, hold on to your hats, folks. Sam Mikulak of the USA to the pommel horse. 4th place at the moment. This is where he had troubles in qualifying.
And that was his own skill that he started with. He travels along the horse, having to keep his head. Whoa, in the background for Andreas Tober on horizontal bar, but he's off. Well, dearie me. Performing in an electric arena at the moment in terms of the tension and what's going on. But there you could see his shoulders were outside of the pommel horse. He was never going to stay on. Resolved to the fact that he's going to have to continue now. But has his chances of a medal just slipped away? Into the flares with the spindle. Nice form. The Russians on the end. This is excellent work. Shimado travel up into the dismount. Well, again, a lovely recovery, some super work. He continues to smile. Very popular competitor, but undoubtedly that fall may be expensive for him, unfortunately.
He's run a magnificent race. If it doesn't end with a medal, it's just one of those things, because this has been that sort of competition, and there is evidence of it. Nikita Nagorny, 15.3. That will go some way to extending his lead, but it may well be that the impressive American Sam Mikulak has just slightly fallen away from contention. We will discover more stories to come. Here's Andreas Tober.
Yes, here's a look at his horizontal bar routine. Very nice Coleman. Straight Kachev. Straddle Kachev. This is going very well indeed so far into mixed grip. Up full. Andreas Tober is holding his nerve on the horizontal bar. Building now, kicking into the dismount. 2 somersaults, 2 twists. Yes, a wonderful performance from Andreas Tober to a delighted Stuttgart crowd.
Lovely display from Andreas Tober. He's having a lot more fun now.
He certainly is. Impressive in that straddle Kachev to mixed grip. Keeping focused. Wanted to finish it successfully, and that he did. He's had a wonderful championships, hasn't he?
He's scored 13.7. He's currently in the top 10 in the all-around competition. Can he hold on to that? Now, for Sam Mikulak, this is going to be a number that he doesn't want to see. It's 13 for him. He's still in second place, but there's a big gap right at the top of the leaderboards. He's straight away turning his attentions onto supporting the next gymnast going, which tells you rather a lot about Sam Mikulak, doesn't it, as a competitor.
Yes.
Sun Wei to the parallel bars.
Under somersault. Toes locked together. Double somersault to a upper arm support. High. Straddle front. Very nice Bavsar. Well, this is going well for Sun Wei. A difficult routine. And he finishes it very well as well. Just that little arm waver on the landing. But a good routine from Sun Wei.
It may be that Sun Wei has gone some way to getting back into contention, because that was a really fine display from the Chinese gymnast, and he's lurking around in 6th place.
Yes, and difficult work, way into the 6s in terms of the difficulty there. We'll see what it is when the judges bring out their score. But certainly focused on his job, keeping his form, good execution, feet locked together, nice lines, double tuck, half turn, and just trying to avoid himself from overbalancing at the end.
But it's easy, isn't it, for a gymnast, a less experienced one, to overdo that correction and maybe make it slightly worse.
Yes, so the opening out of the somersault, the timing of that is so critical.
Very heavily taped up as well on that left shoulder.
Nice to see him smiling after the team event.
Isn't it just? It really is. And he will smile once more. 2nd place now for Sun Wei, 14.933.
Yes,
a big number.
6.2 difficulty.
In the qualification.
He will next go to the horizontal bar. Now, what of Kazuma Kaya? So many other discussions have there been that Kaya has not been part of the conversation just for the last little while, but he's currently in 7th place, and he scored a 14.8 in qualifying.
Yes, he's been chipping away, hasn't he? Been working in the background, been working consistently. Let's see what he can produce on the parallel bars. Up into the handstand. Part of the bronze medal winning team at the Doha World Championships. They also took a bronze here. 6 all around last year. High straddle front somersault. Nice work. And that Babsar, the release of the body up above the rails.
On floor exercise. For France, Doris Prask.
Pressing out into the handstand from one rail. And again, the double front half and a very well controlled exercise from Kazuma Kaya. No mistake there.
Keep him in the back of your mind, everyone, because you just never know. He might well be there or thereabouts.
Yes, he's made the parallel bars final in 8th place. And showing why here today. This was the very high straddle front somersault to upper arms.
And now on polymers representing
Swinging very well.
Korea, Lee Jung-hyun.
And again, the dismount. Pulling tight into the tuck. And avoiding any additional steps forward or backwards in terms of the rotation there.
Now, just to give you a couple of important numbers before this display, Carlos Yulo, 14.633 on floor. That could really help him. Petro Pachniuk, 14.9 on parallel bars. That could really help him. So Yulo at the moment is 5th and Pachniuk is 6th.
Yes, Pachniuk, an excellent worker on the parallel bar, second highest qualifier.
Oh, now then, Kazuma Kaya goes into the bronze medal position with a score of 15, up by 2/10 from qualification, and that will do very nicely indeed. But what do we now see from Oleg Vanyaev in the silver medal position coming to this rotation? 13.233 in qualifying on the horizontal bar.
Yes, didn't have quite the difficulty of some of the others. But let's see what he's going to produce today. Very nice straight Kachev to mixed. Good form so far. Nice execution. There's the straddle Kachev. Stoop in and out with full pirouette. Hop over. Hop full. There's the endo. Turning out. Double twisting, double straightener, beautiful landing. Oleg Vanyaev with a beaming smile. That's lovely to see. Very pleased with himself, and so he should be.
He's having quite the competition. He may well, despite being the 8th strongest performer in qualification, get up and in and around the podium places.
Well, we've always known he has the pedigree, haven't we? He's been there or thereabouts for so long. One of the most experienced competitors here at these World Championships, and going cleanly through his horizontal bar. Looked very relieved at the end. And this was the conclusion, the dismount. Nailing that dismount. Yes, that's what he was thinking. Punches the air. Pleased to get through, well done.
He has 4 World Championship medals. They're all parallel bars medals, Oleg Vanyaev's accomplishments. But what about an all-around one in this championships where he has not made the parallel bars final? That would be the most curious of inversions.
Yeah.
To Xiaorui Teng, the Chinese gymnast who was in 3rd position at the start of this rotation, and he scored a 14.966 in qualifying. This was great.
Yes, the all-around title in 2017. Silver last year, he wants it back. And that's a good start on the parallel bars. Double tuck, backwards rotation to upper arms. And there, the double rotation, kicking out, showing amplitude in the skill. Very high in that straddle front. to really be attacking this competition. That's the tip out. Double pike somersault from Xiao Roteng. Another very, very clean, impressive routine.
At the moment, it is Nagorny, Bunyaev and Sun. We might well see a little change to that top three here.
There's the double somersault from that long swing, kicking out. Great work and interesting. No great celebrations after any of his routines. He won't relax until all 6 apparatus are over.
Now, Bunyaev, there is the confirmation that he is in second place once again. 13.666, a good little jump up from qualification by over 4/10. That will do very nicely.
Yes, increase the difficulty by 0.7 as well.
Now, Joe Fraser of Great Britain was inside the top 10 at the start of this rotation. This is him performing on the floor exercise.
20 years of age. Good start for him. Double twisting, double tuck. Just squeezing that into the floor area. Working cleanly through the combinations. 2.5 twist, 1.5 twist. Floating through the double twist. The Russian swings almost in time with Kaio Souza working behind him there. Composes himself. Full twisting double tuck. And a very nice routine there from Joe Fraser. He's doing himself proud, very pleased indeed he is.
Joe Fraser, who was 4th in the Birmingham All-Around World Cup early this year behind Nagorny, Sun and Kaya. No shame in that.
No. Silver as part of the British team at the 2018 European Championships. Controlling the landing there. Really growing in stature as he progresses through this World Championships.
14.166 is the number for Fraser, so gains a few tenths and then some from qualification. Now, what about this gentleman, Xiao Roteng? Yes, he's in second place, 15.266 for Xiao Roteng. A very good score indeed. He's up by a couple of tenths, or a few tenths indeed, from qualification. So it's Nagorny, Xiao and Bunyaev. Now it's the turn of the reigning world champion, who was in 5th place at the end of the previous rotation, Artur Dalaloyan.
Starts on 1 rail, hops back onto 2. Ballistic in his movements there. Very determined approach. And the Babsar. Nice straddle front somersault. Appreciated by the Stuttgart crowd. Heavy turn. Double front, half turn. Artur Dalaloyan really going for it, having to control his nerves after vault, bringing it back. The great routine on the parallel bars. Look at the extension through to the toes, driving up into that straddle front somersault to upper arms. Really attacking the apparatus, the 23-year-old. Became a father just a few weeks ago. Here, the dismount. Double front with half turn. Just a minor adjustment on the landing.
He lost around about a mark on the vault from his qualification display as the second strongest qualifier. Has he managed to push himself back up into real serious podium contention courtesy of that performance on the parallel bars, which was very fine indeed. We are nearly at the stage where the top group of gymnasts will move on to the horizontal bar, with the exception of Oleg Vernyayev. He will move to conclude his campaign on the floor exercise. He's already gone through the horizontal bar without too many issues. Dalaloyan is now in the bronze medal position. Vernyayev drops down by just over a tenth. 15.233 for Dalaloyan. He's gained half a mark from qualifying. He's got some of those numbers back that he lost on the vault. And all of that tells us that it's going to be very exciting as we head to the horizontal bar. Nikita Nagorny still leads. Xiao up 1, Dalaloyan up 2, Vernyayev down 2, Sun up 1, Kaya up 1, Mikulak down 3. It's all over the place at the top of the leaderboard.
And guess what, Ollie? Nikita Nagorny's last up on the horizontal bar yet again.
Some stories write themselves, do they not? Kaya Souza's dropped down a few places, courtesy of Petro Patniuk pushing up into the top 10 competitors. Lee Jun-kyo, the young gymnast from Seoul, is up into the top 20 now, and Praska has moved up a couple of places as well. Milad Karimi and Nesta Abad just moving down a touch in the standings. Well, we have 1/6 of the competition left, and fortunately nothing ever peculiar has happened on a horizontal bar, so this is all fine and nice and clear.
Just get ready to have a lie down afterwards.
Will he be getting ready to walk away with World Championship gold the year before the Olympics? That is the gap. It is just about 0.6 of a mark between Nagorny and Xiao. And in terms of qualification, Nagorny scored 14.3 on the horizontal bar. Xiao scored 14.033. And all eyes are on this gymnast, Sun Wei, as he takes to the horizontal bar. He's currently in 5th place, and any of you who watched the team competition will know that it was a very difficult time indeed for him, and the character and heart that he showed, and indeed the way he was treated by his fellow gymnasts, tells us everything.
Yes, certainly. Obviously, it was all of the contributors to that team competition that made the results, but the focus was on the horizontal bar towards the end, and he unfortunately came off, which was costly at the end of the competition. I'm sure everybody will be willing him through his horizontal bar routine today, regardless of the outcome of this championships or this title race.
Certainly Artur Dalaloyan will, because he was the first to go across, having just won that team title with his colleagues, and say, bad luck, and I understand, I know how it feels because I've been there before myself. Classy gesture from the world champion. To the floor exercise, these are the gymnasts who will be concluding their campaign there, and over on the pommel horse, that's a look at the gymnast from Spain, Nesta Abad, the reigning Spanish champion, just completing his warm-up process as Carlos Yulo comes along to take over. Just a brief touch warm-up for all of these gymnasts.
And here, finishing on the rings, this is the lineup, led by Sam Mikulak.
Yes, Mikulak, who it seems has just drifted away now. He's down in 7th position. Warming up is Ludovico Idali. It always feels right that we see an Italian gymnast warming up and competing on the still rings, a nation so well known for the lovely work that they produce on that apparatus. They have so many ring specialists, the Italians.
Yes, they certainly do. And we look forward to those apparatus finals at the weekend, but we have another rotation to go here first.
This is Lee Jun-kyo of the Republic of Korea, who competes at the World University Games in Naples earlier in the year. Nikita Nagorny is the leader. 74.606 is the current magic number. There's a Mexican wave going around the stadium. He looks like he hasn't noticed, and why would he? Because his mind is very much now on attacking the horizontal bar in the same way that he did in the team competition.
So difficult for these gymnasts to keep focus in this major atmosphere of this arena with everybody cheering and clapping along. We mentioned earlier Sam Mikulak on the pommel horse and Andreas Toba was going on the horizontal bar at the same time, and they really can't be distracted. It's difficult work, but that's what they have to contend with. This is Robert Dvorak, who's come in late. He replaced Monrique Laduet from Cuba at the last minute, so I'm sure he's delighted to be in this all-around final. And
it really is for Dvorak a great learning experience. He's a gymnast who's starting to become a really reliable all-around athlete. He also won his first big title, the European Games Horizontal Bar Championship back in June. 17th Dvorak back in the 2017 competition. 6 consecutive World Championships for the Lithuanian gymnast. Great names everywhere, some of whom we've not really had the opportunity to have much of a look at because of the different stories that have been in front of us. And it seems as though the story at the moment for Sam Mikulak is not quite going to have the ending that so many hoped. He had a remarkable transformation following the qualification process. Let's not forget that whatever position he finishes in, he was 27th after qualification. He's come a long way in this final.
He has. And they're going through his mental rehearsal before he mounts the rings, his final apparatus. And looking strong in the cross position. Shoulders nice and low there. A formidable performer. Yeah, top planche. Beautiful body line. Yamawaki into the cross. Same skill in the pike position, up to the handstand. Oh, just a bend in the elbows. And a very nice dismount from Sam Mikulak. Super conclusion to his routine and his all-around campaign.
So very nearly. For Sam Mikulak, so very nearly. And he has shown that he really is a wonderful gymnast.
They're so elegant. Look at the determination. Look at the biceps, the triceps, the deltoids, all engaged there. Incredible upper body strength. Wrapping in and nailing the dismount to complete his competition with a big smile. He just loves performing, he loves gymnastics. Very popular indeed.
This will have enhanced his popularity on the global stage. Petro Pachniuk has just scored 13.766, so he is now in the gold medal position. But there's only 10 marks between him and Nikita Nagorny. That might be about to change, depending on what happens here from Sam Mikulak. So 14 the score for Mikulak. He is now in the gold medal position, 85.691.
Yes, that's the total to chase. Very elegant performer finishing his competition. He can now relax and watch the rest of the event unfold. And we're going to Sun Wei next on the horizontal bar.
Yes, on the subject of relaxing for all of us as spectators, we really hope Sun Wei delivers what he really wants to here. It may be we've got a two-horse race really for gold. Nagorny and Xiao are within several tenths of each other. Then there's a bit of a gap by over a mark between silver and bronze, and maybe 4 or 5 competitors chasing for bronze at the moment. Sun Wei is in that discussion, 5th coming into this rotation. Here he goes, and everybody really hopes this will be Sun Wei's chance.
Yes, to put the past behind him, what he encountered in the team competition. Winding up. Here's a release, the straight catch of the straddle catch to mixed. Cleanly through so far. Straight Kachev to mix. Sun Wei swinging well. Stole a circle. And a very nice dismount, double twisting, double straight. Well, a super way to bring his all-around competition to a close after the problems he had on this apparatus in the team event. We're so pleased for him.
We woke up this morning to a beautiful day and lovely weather in Stuttgart, and now truly the sun shines. That is what we wanted to see.
Yes, putting the pass behind, as we said. Yeah, slightly askew there, just like to correct himself, but he does so very well. And the ghosts of the team event have now gone and cleared the way for a very good routine on the horizontal bar, finishing with this double twisting, double straight somersault. I'm sure he'll be very relieved to have produced that.
That is character. That is character from Sun Wei of the People's Republic of China. Now, where will he find himself positioned? Those of you who are new to watching an all-around competition, just to be very clear, the position we see next to the gymnast's name now is as high as they can achieve. They cannot go higher. This is the final performance. We're getting the last numbers coming in for all of these athletes, and that means we'll know soon, with the last couple of displays, the number that's required to take the title. We're going to get a change to that number. 86.523 is now the gold medal mark. It is held by Sun Wei, who scores 14 on the horizontal bar.
Congratulated by the coach. So all he can do now is sit and wait and watch.
Kazuma Kaya, the gymnast from Japan, 6th position coming into this rotation. Can he push beyond those gymnasts above him and find himself in the mix and in the race? .066 in qualification for this routine. Very nice line there.
Straight Kachev. Very nice, impressive work, isn't it? Stoop in and out with the full pirouette. Hop full. And again, the popular choice of dismount, the double twisted, double straight. And he yells at the end of his routine. That's all of the emotion coming out.
Kazuma Kaya has given it a wonderful go. He needs a 14.36 in order to go into the lead. Sun Wei currently has the gold medal position. Has Kaya done enough?
Let's take another look. Yeah, one of his releases into the mix. You see the dowel and the hand guards over the top, keeping the grip. There. Goes out of shot as he lifts above the bar.
Score on pommel horse, 12.816.
Very nice double twisting, double straight. And that's what it means to him. Embraced by the coach. Wonderful images.
Wonderful gymnast. Such a wonderful gymnast is Kazuma Kaya. He just keeps getting better and better as well. So it's a 14.36 that would put him up into that leading position. 13.733, he's in the silver medal position at the moment. 85.899.
And a nod of approval. He's clearly satisfied with the score for that performance. Pleased with himself.
Can he hold on? That's what we're going to discover. Now, this is a gymnast who is poised to go into the lead. Xiao Teng needs a 12.5 score on the horizontal bar to go into the gold medal position, but he'll be more concerned about opening up a gap on Nagorny.
Yes, capable of a score well into 14. 40.033 in qualification. Oh, that was very nice. No, did the coach touch the feet? I'm not sure. Full twist him, straight Kachev. It was difficult to see from this angle. There's the straight Kachev, and the straddle Kachev, and the straddle Kachev to mix. Well, oh!
Well.
No. Oh, disaster struck for Xiao Teng.
Well, on this occasion, it is a different gymnast from the People's Republic of China who is fighting a very tough battle with the horizontal bar. On this occasion, it's Xiao Teng.
Well, this apparatus caused them some problems, hasn't it? Look at that, went for the grip change and his arm sort of buckled underneath him. Wasn't able to continue with the swings, had to come off and readjust. Well, it's definitely a hallmark. We don't know what happened to the full twisting Kachev right at the beginning. So, well, your guess is as good as mine as to what the judges may think. He has to continue with the routine yet, though. He's not finished. Beautiful dismount. Its arms came right out to the side to stop the twist. Such amplitude. He claps the audience, thanks them for their support. He's put in some magnificent performances, but is he out of the race for gold? Is he out of a medal contention? Who knows?
The judges, that's who knows, and they will make their decision in just a moment based on what they have seen from the gymnast from China, Xiao Teng. Well, the horizontal bar has once again given us enormous drama in the race between Chinese and Russian gymnasts to be at the very top of the pile. Sun Wei is currently the leader, having had a very strong performance. Now, what does this mean for Oleg Vernyayev?
Yes.
Because what we've got to consider, whilst all this drama is going on the horizontal bar, we've got him over there on the floor exercise. How aware of it he'll be is his business and his business alone, and every gymnast is different. But Vernyayev was in 4th place at the end of the previous rotation. Can he now go back up into medal contention? Let's find out.
A test of his character, draws upon all of his experience. 3.5 into the full twisting straight front. Very difficult combination to start, but the foot was out of the area. Penalty for that. Double twisting, double tuck. Difficult and well performed. Handspring, 2.5 twisting front somersault. There the flares up to handstand. Presses up to the wide arm handstand. And the triple twist. He punches the air. He thinks he's done enough, but has he? Super routine, lots of difficulty. The step out, but a well-executed final exercise from him.
The world watches and waits for one of its most loved gymnasts to receive his final score. This is Oleg Vernyayev once again.
Wrapping into those twists. Difficult work there. That was the step out in that first pass. Now, will that 10th matter at the end of this competition? Included some very difficult combinations. That was the triple twist to finish. Snaps his feet together to conclude the routine.
Xiao Teng is waiting for his score. Oh, he's just done enough to go into the lead. 86.69. He is under a tenth, or rather just over a tenth, excuse my maths, ahead of Sun Wei, who's now in the silver medal position. Then it's Kazumakaya occupying bronze. So Xiaoru Teng might just be okay. But what about Oleg Vernyayev?
He had a cushion, didn't he? We wait for the score for Oleg Vernyayev, and we still have Dalaloyan and Nogoni yet to come.
We still basically do not know. Vernyayev is in the gold medal position. 86.973. It's the stuff that dreams are made of.
Fantastic images here. Vernyayev takes the lead. Assured, I'm sure of a medal. We don't know what colour, but he takes the lead with that fabulous floor exercise.
Oleg Vernyayev is leading the World Championship all-around final. After all that he's been through, he's the leader. But here now comes the reigning world champion sitting in the bronze medal position. It's Artur Dalaloyan.
And the Kovac in the high position and the tuck position. Straight Kachev to mix. The beautiful body form that we've become so accustomed to with the work of Dalaloyan. Straight Kachev. Lovely line, lovely style and difficult work. He's not holding back at all. And a full twisting double straight from Artur Dalaloyan. Fabulous horizontal bar routine. Such courageous work from the reigning world champion.
We're looking at a number in excess of 14.05 to go into the gold medal position. It's an intriguing conclusion, isn't it, to this all-around final with Vernyayev currently in first place, Xiao in second, Sun in third.
Yes, and there, the start of his routine. Beautiful form as he flies over the top of the bar. He's got 14.433 in qualification. Look at the flight there. Kicking out, keeping focused. And just one twist, 2 straight somersaults to conclude his routine. And a nice shot at the end as he walked off, thanking the audience. And he also gave a big high five to Nikita Nogoni, who will follow him onto this apparatus.
Yes, it really is easy to paint a narrative of 2 rivals doing battle. It's perhaps better to paint a narrative of 2 friends doing battle here and making themselves better as performers.
Yeah,
strong team.
There were tears of joy, weren't there, in the team final when the Russian Federation took gold.
Artur Dalaloyan is chasing down Oleg Vernyayev. The Ukrainian gymnast leads the way now. All he can do is watch and wait, but Oleg Vernyayev has already proven just what a sensational competitor he is in all-around competition. The much sought-after individual all-around medal is almost hanging around the neck of Oleg Vernyayev. It won't be too long now. Dalaloyan leads 14.233. He's just gone ahead of Vernyayev, and that's how close it is. Very little between them, but a new leader, the reigning world champions, back on top once more.
One thing is for sure, the Russian Federation will be taking home another gold medal. Will it be Dalaloyan or will it be our final competitor, Nikita Nogoni?
Right, calm down everyone. Here we go. Nikita Nogoni, he needs 12.56 in order to be the world all-around champion. There's a funny feeling of déjà vu right now, is there not?
Yes, it was all down to him in the team event on this very same apparatus. He produced the goods when it mattered then. Can he do it for his own individual success? So far, it's going well. Slight adjustment there. Stooping in and out. Straddle Kachev. And the same to mixed. Impressive one-arm work. And the big dismount, double twist, double straight. Surely the title is his.
And with the merest hint of a smile, as they stand and they roar and they wave the flag, just the tiniest signs of a smile. And who is the first to go over to him but Artur Dalaloyan? Nikita Nagorny may just be the next world champion.
He's had a sensational World Championships, hasn't he? Look at that, lovely images, the pair of them together. Russian Federation, really, their gymnasts coming of age here in Stuttgart. It has been their championships in the men's competition.
That is a glorious conclusion. The first person to come over and say, well done to you, was Artur Dalaloyan, who, by the way, was the first to go over and to console Sun Wei at the conclusion of the team competition. It is Russia, surely 1 and 2 in this final. We have to await confirmation, but it seems a fait accompli.
And wonderful images. Nikita Nagorny waits for his score to come through. Great friends, great rivals, great competition.
And now the stare at the scoreboard, joined by every spectator in here. It's Nagorny, the world champion. 14.166. He goes to the top. He has taken the title.
Go on the podium.
The all-around European champion takes a world's title as well. And nice images there as Oleg Vanyayev joins them on the podium. There's your 1, 2, 3.
And what a 1, 2, 3 it is. That's the gap between Nikita Nagorny and Artur Dalaloyan. And they are all delighted for so many different reasons, as are they, as I'm sure you watching at home at one of the most extraordinary and dramatic conclusions to a competition. But just look at the man on the left, Oleg Vanyayev. He may bruise, but he will not break.
And the crowd on their feet showing their support of the magnificent talent that has been on display at this all-around World Championships. Superb work from all 24 competitors, but these are the top 3.
A reversal. This time it is Nikita Nagorny who wins. It is Nagorny who is the world champion. The European champion goes one step further. That is how he did it. Artur Dalaloyan, the world champion 12 months ago, gladly steps to one side and confesses that his friend on this day was the finest of the two of them. And then Oleg Vanyayev of Ukraine, finally, at last, at long last, a world championship all-around medalist. It's stuff to make you smile, isn't it? Sensational competition here in Stuttgart. The men's all-around final ends with a bronze for Oleg Vanyayev of Ukraine. It's a 1 and 2 for the Russian Federation. Artur Dalaloyan takes the silver. Nikita Nagorny is the world champion. And what a chasing pack as well, as we look down to the second page. Strong performances from Xiaoryu Teng, Sun Wei, Kazumikaya, Sam Mikulak. They were all in the conversation for so long. It kept us guessing until the very end. we shall return in a short while for the victory ceremony and the celebrations of Nikita Nagorny. Artur Dalaloyan, there his teammate, will take the silver medal, but there is the man of the moment. There is your new world champion in men's all-around artistic gymnastics. Let us take a moment to enjoy these celebrations and let us return for the more formal occasion in a short while. The victory ceremony will be along in a matter of minutes. Do please stay with us.
Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide.
Riesenapplaus, meine Damen und Herren, the new power generation!
Lovely performance there to enjoy it before the presentation of the medals, and good work in clearing the floor as well. That was like watching the Wimbledon ground staff on a rainy day. We have the victory ceremony coming up in just a short while for the men's all-around competition. I'm sure those of you watching this at home could use the chance just to catch your breath for a moment. We'll also have the Longines Prize for Elegance to be performed, and that will be the first order of business.
As the official partner and timekeeper of these artistic world championships, Longines will now award the Longines Prize for Elegance.
Als offizieller Partner und Zeitmesser der Turn-Weltmeisterschaft verleiht Longines nun den Longines-Preis für Eleganz.
Please welcome the gymnasts.
Bitte begrüßen Sie die Preisträger.
This award is meant to honor the gymnasts who have demonstrated the most remarkable grace and elegance in the course of the individual all-around final.
Dieser Preis wird an die Turnerin bzw. den Turner mit der beeindruckendsten Grazie und Eleganz im Teilnehmerfeld der Mehrkampffinals der Männer und Frauen verliehen.
The 2019 Longines Prize for Elegance goes to
Der Longines-Preis für Eleganz 2019 geht an
Melanie de Jesus dos Santos, France.
The French gymnast Melanie de Jesus dos Santos,
and
the reigning
Sam
European
Nicholas,
all-around champion,
America.
joined by the six-time US national champion Sam Mikulak. And they are the two winners
To
of
present
the
the
Longines Prize for Elegance.
please welcome the members of the jury.
Zur Übergabe der Preise begrüßen Sie bitte die Mitglieder der Jury.
Rainer Eckart, Brand Manager, Longines, Germany. Morinari Watanabe, President of the International Gymnastics Federation.
Präsident des Internationalen Turnverbandes.
Catalina Ponor, Women's Artistic Gymnastics Ambassador for the 2019 World Championships.
What a moment there. Fabulous, fabulous gymnast, one of the very finest ever,
Fabian
Catalina
Hambuschen,
Ponor.
Men's Artistic
Three-times
Gymnastics
Olympic
Ambassador
champion.
for the
And
2019 World
there is another
Championships.
Olympic champion right there, Fabian Hambuschen.
der Turn-Weltmeisterschaft 2019.
Hugely distinguished gymnasts from days gone by. They've been here at the competition throughout. And so Catalina Ponor presenting Melanie de Jesus dos Santos from France with the Longines Prize for Elegance.
Both winners of the Longines Prize for
Fabian
Elegance will
Hambuschen
receive an elegant Longines
presenting
timepiece,
Sam
a
Mikulak
trophy, as well as a check.
Die beiden
with
Gewinner
the
des
Longines Prize for Elegance in men's
erhalten eine
artistic
elegante
gymnastics. And
Longines
so there they are,
eine Trophäe
Sam Mikulak
und ein
and Melanie de
Preisgeld.
Jesus dos
Das ist
Santos,
noch
the
einmal
winners of the
unser Applaus,
Longines
meine Damen und
Prize
Herren.
for
Melanie de
Elegance.
Jesus dos Santos und Sam Mikulak.
Very delighted supporters of Sam Mikulak. Two gymnasts who were involved in the all-around competitions. And who have had great all-around success throughout their careers. And that brings us to the presentation for the men's individual all-around competition. And that will be along in just a matter of moments. So thanks very much for staying with us to enjoy the victory ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, the FIG Artistic Gymnastics World Championships Stuttgart 2019 award ceremony for the men's all-around final.
Meine Damen und Herren, die FIG-Turnweltmeisterschaften in Stuttgart 2019, die Siegerehrung, Mehrkampf der Männer.
Please welcome the successful gymnasts.
Bitte begrüßen Sie die erfolgreichen Turner.
It's now time for the victory ceremony for the men's individual all-around competition at the World Championships of Artistic Gymnastics in Stuttgart. The third time that Stuttgart has hosted this competition. It's the 49th time we've had the World Championships of Artistic Gymnastics. And yet again, we've had the most dramatic of finals here in Germany. It's been glorious, glorious entertainment.
In 8th place, representing Great Britain.
Auf dem 8. Platz für Großbritannien, Joe Fraser.
Well, this is great for Joe Fraser of Great Britain, the 20-year-old from Edgbaston in Birmingham. Qualified in 16th place and has made it to the top 8.
States of America.
Auf dem 7. Platz für die Vereinigten Staaten von Amerika, Samuel McCulloch.
It may not have gone the way of Sam McCulloch today, despite being in the lead at points, but he was the 27th best performer in qualification. He's risen 20 places. That's a job well done.
Auf dem 6. Platz für Japan, Kazuma Kaya.
It is 6th place once again for Kazuma Kaya in the men's all-around competition after his strong performance in Doha.
Representing People's Republic of China.
Auf dem 5. Platz für die Volksrepublik China, Sun Wei.
Didn't we learn an awful lot about Sun Wei today, the 24-year-old from Nantong, team world champion from last year.
Place,
he had a tough battle to come out here today and he delivered.
Republic of China.
Auf dem 4. Platz für die Volksrepublik China, Xiao Ruoteng.
Xiao Ruoteng was the third strongest in qualification, the silver medalist from last year, the champion from 2 years ago, not quite able to impose himself once again on the podium in a dramatic competition.
Ukraine.
Auf dem 3. Platz und Gewinner der Bronzemedaille für die Ukraine, Oleg Verniayev.
He's been a top all-around performer at the European Games, the European Championships, the World University Games, even the Olympic Games. But this time, he's got his World Championship all-around medal. Oleg Verniayev, the bronze medalist.
Representing Russian Federation.
Auf dem 2. Platz und Gewinner der Silbermedaille für die russische Föderation, Artur Dalaloyan.
Artur Dalaloyan was part of the Russian team that took a historic gold a couple of days ago in the men's team competition. The world champion from last year is on the podium once
In first
again,
place,
the silver medalist.
winner of the gold medal and world champion, representing Russian Federation.
Auf dem ersten Platz, Gewinner der Goldmedaille und Weltmeister im Mehrkampf der Männer 2019. Für die Russische Föderation, Nikita Nagorny.
Has there been a sterner constitution and a stronger stomach at these World Championships than Nikita Nagorny's? On 2 occasions, he has had to land
Please
massively
welcome the
important
honorary
routines
guest.
to secure himself and his teammates a title. A couple of days ago, it was for the team. This one was for him. Nikita Nagorny is the world all-around champion.
The gold medal will be presented by Mr. Artur Mitkovic, President of the FIG Men's Technical Committee.
Meine Damen und Herren, die Goldmedaille wird überreicht durch Herrn Artur Mitkovic, Präsident des Technischen Komitees der Männer der FIG.
The silver medal will be presented by Mr. Andrew Toombs, Vice President of the FIG Men's Technical Committee.
Die Silbermedaille wird übergeben von Andrew Thomas, Vizepräsident des Technischen Komitees der Männer der FIG.
The bronze medal will be presented by Mr. Wilfred Klenk, State Secretary of Interior, Digital and Migration of Baden-Württemberg.
Die Bronzemedaille wird übergeben von Wilfried Klenk, Staatssekretär für Inneres, Digitalisierung und Migration in Baden-Württemberg.
The flowers will be presented by Mr. Wolfgang Drexler, President of the Schwabian Gymnastics Federation.
Und die Blumen werden übergeben von Wolfgang Drexler,
Presentation
Präsident
party
des Schwäbischen
introduced and
Turnerbundes.
looking like they're very pleased to be here and having a good time. And so to the moment where the medals are handed over. To Oleg Vernyayev, the bronze medalist, the 26-year-old gymnast from Donetsk. Silver medalist Artur Delaloyan, gymnast who was born in Moldova, 23-year-old, lives in Moscow. His family moved there when he was a small child, just after he began his gymnastics training. And the gold medal presented to Nikita Nagorny. He's only 22, gymnast who was born in Rostov. The reigning European champion has made it to become the world champion. That's the prize, that's the reward. The championship of the world. And now the national anthem as the Russian Federation that played for him and his team will play just for him. This one is for Nikita Nagorny.
Ladies and
It's the
gentlemen,
Russian national anthem.
in honor to the winner, the national anthem of Russian Federation.
Meine Damen und Herren, zu Ehren des Siegers hört sie nun die Nationalhymne der Russischen Föderation.
Stuttgart, show your appreciation to the best gymnast of the world.
Meine